Hello, I'm Danny the Heck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Today I have got a video of a lady who is hiding on the internet. Her nickname is Jessica Soul. Now she's all over the gold scam at the moment, and she's holding webinars with about 30 people in them, so not a hell of a lot of people, but she's telling a whole lot of lies, in my opinion. So anything I'm about to say about Jessica is solely my opinion. It may not be accurate. You can take it with a grain of salt if you choose. However, I've been watching the criminal network that she is associated with, and I've also been looking at other people that are associated with the same opportunities she's promoting. Now, I signed up for her webinar and I received an email just half an hour ago, hence why I was a little bit late going live on this broadcast. And it's just full of lies and manipulation. She included in that email a link to an unlisted video. Now, why would someone give you an unlisted video? Because she doesn't want people to know what she's doing, I believe. That's my opinion. So I got that video and I put it into a program I use called To Summarize. And it summarizes and strips out all the transcript that she used in her video. Her video was an hour, 22 minutes long. And I've also invited Jessica to actually come on to this live. And I've sent her an email to her email address, and I've also received a reply from her welcoming me to her webinars. I could play the video that I found on the internet, but I think she'll take it offline before I finish doing my live. So I have another video. But the interesting thing is, in this webinar, she doesn't even mention the name of the scam, but she tells people how she's managed to make her fortune. She won't disclose how much money she's made, but she gives people examples of things that they could do to diversify. And of course, she's talking about how she invests in gold, and that's the scam that she's promoting. This lady has been featured on Behind MOM. She's associated with a whole lot of people who have been associated with GS Partners. The Money Smart in Australia has put out warnings telling people this is a scam, or words to that effect. And also the AMF here in New Zealand, the financial regulator for New Zealand, has also put out notices. So you've got to ask that question, why is she still promoting it? And why is she enticing people with false information when she's not authorized? So as I said, I went through and I got all the script and I put it into ChatGPT and I said, please give me the red flags. Lack of financial credentials is the first thing. Emotional manipulation and mindset control. These are all the things she's using. Fear of missing out, urgency tactics, false comparison. She uses big names in what she says. Oh, my camera's been crap ever since I've done something to it. And if this flashed up and did something I don't like. Engaging high-risk financial behavior. So she's telling people to do so. Promotion of unverified investment schemes, downplaying the risks while omitting the market volatility. So she's playing the yin and the yang. Encouraging dangerous security practices. I'm not saying these very well because I normally get my computer to read it. Engaging in social media hype and recruitment. So all these platforms aren't actually about what they're selling. They're all about you actually going out there and finding people to entice into these platforms and they get the commission. This is what these whole scams are all about. Now, as I said, I invited Jessica to come on here. I've given her a link and she can come on the stage. If that stops flashing, that would be good. G'day, Microsoft Certified Trailer. Nice to see you here. Oh, okay. So you're attending the lunch she has organized. You are attending the lunch she has organised at her boyfriend's restaurant, which I have actually phoned the boyfriend and told her about this, and he doesn't want to believe it. He believes what she's doing is not a scam. All right, so if you can put up with my flickering camera every now and again, you'll see that this is Jessica, and this is a webinar that she put on, and I'm just absolutely disgusted. I can listen to this and think, who the hell would listen to this? Currently, in this meeting, she had 32 people in the meeting. On the online link that you will see, which I'll give you a link to, I can just about guarantee before this is finished, this video will be removed, but I might as well test that theory by giving you guys the link to her hidden content. But let's listen, and along the way, let's critique what she's actually saying, and I'll tell you why it makes me feel like getting a bucket, and we'll get into this. Now, there's no sound. It just gets better and better, this broadcast, doesn't it? Maybe she's the sound's getting organised. I think she might even be talking about no sound herself. We're just going to, there we go, we're in.
All right. So this is a little bit more of a, complex little diagram.
I actually think we missed the start of that video. So this video that I've got on my other screen here is actually longer, and I think it would be better doing this until she actually gets rid of it, and we'll see how far we get. I've had the video open for a while, so I don't think there's any point deleting it, Jessica, because I believe I've got it cached enough to play the whole video, and if not, we'll go back to the original. But this is Jessica, and as you may have seen, we've got Jessica, I can't even pronounce the last name, Scheme. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Schembri, aka Jessica Soul. No wonder she's changed the last name to Soul. Propaganda webinars, and they're just total lies. I'm going to point out some of those lies, but in the meantime, let's listen to Jessica and see what she has to say. I might actually try something a bit different here. I'm just going to hoot this over to another screen. I'm going to try full size, and then I'm going to reshare that window with you guys, and let's see if we can make it look a bit nicer. AI, where have we got? Weather webinar. There we go. Look at this. Looking good. Take that button off, tick that up there, and let's have a listen. If my camera doesn't keep flashing, I will be happy. Right, let's go.
I'm predominantly a...
Let's go back to start.
My name is Jessica Soul, and I'm here to give you...
Straight away, her name is not actually Jessica Soul. We've found that out, haven't we? We found out her real name is actually on the video here, but she goes by that name so she can keep her identity. And also, this is an unlisted video. It even gets better.
Guys, some information tonight, predominantly around crypto, but also around the Web3 space, blockchain space, share a little bit about my story. And my aim with tonight is to help you guys just have a greater understanding of a world that I absolutely love. And I know that for many, you're obviously on this call for a certain reason. Maybe it's because you already know a lot about crypto and you just love learning. Maybe you know absolutely nothing. Maybe you know a little bit and you're kind of like, all right, it's time I know more. So wherever you're at.
So I just want to read her email that you haven't got in front of you, but let's just have a listen to this for a second. Here we go.
Thank you so much for registering for my recent crypto webinar. If you joined us live, it was incredible to see your faces and share this space with you. If you couldn't make it, I've got you covered, always. The recording is ready for you to watch at your convenience.
So this is the recording that I've received, and this is what she claims she covers.
What we covered. Tick understanding cryptocurrency and its role in the future of money.
Lie.
Tick how decentralization is shifting financial power.
Lies.
Tick key strategies for protecting and growing your wealth in this space.
Lies.
Tick the biggest risks and how to avoid them.
Lies.
Tick my personal journey and how I built financial autonomy.
Lies. She doesn't even want to tell how much money she's made because she claims it's none of your business. And then she gives you examples of other people. This is ridiculous. This is just absolutely propaganda.
What's next? If this conversation sparked something in you, and you're ready to take the next step in building your wealth, my wealth mentorship starts on February 17th. This is for those who want deeper guidance on money bag, understanding money and wealth creation from a decentralized lens. Graph with upwards trend, practical strategies to diversify and protect your assets. Brain the mindset shifts needed to create financial autonomy.
Right. Well, definitely not. And she's not a financial regulated financial advisor. She's got no qualifications that she claims or can prove. She is absolutely a scammer, in my opinion. You can believe me or not believe me. It's totally up to you. Okay, and there's over a few spaces left. She's a washed-up scammer trying to get people to pay, I think, $8,000 or $4,000 to do her course in her dreams. And that annoying flashing thing, I'm sorry about that, but you have to put up with that.
I have a few spaces left, and I'd love to support you. If you're interested, hit reply and I will personally respond and tee up a time for a chat with you. No pressure, just an invitation to go deeper if it aligns. Either way, I appreciate you being here and investing in your knowledge. Let me know if you have any questions.
So definitely not a lady that you'd want to. So let's just go through these points before we start watching Jessica so you know what you're up
Here
for.
are the red flags from Jessica Schembri, aka Jessica Solweb, in a transcript that indicate misleading or deceptive practices. 1. Lack of financial credentials. Red circle. I'm not a financial advisor. She repeatedly states she's not a financial advisor, which is a typical way scammers attempt to avoid legal accountability while still giving investment advice.
Yeah, so imagine somebody standing there telling you, I'm not a surgeon, but they've got a knife in their hand and they go and cut you open. I'm not a surgeon, and they cut you open. I'm not a surgeon, and they cut you open. It's the same stuff. It's just ridiculous.
2. Emotional manipulation and mindset control. Red circle. Shift your relationship with money. She focuses on emotional triggers rather than financial literacy, which is a common manipulation tactic used to lower skepticism. Red circle. If you don't trust the system, you have a mindset problem. Gaslighting people into thinking skepticism is a flaw rather than a rational approach. Red circle. You need to think about why you're here tonight, subtly making attendees feel obligated to take action or commit to the opportunity.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to fix my camera. I hate when my camera gear is not working right. So I think you got that. I'm not going to reiterate that. Fear of missing out. This is the one I hate the most. And they talk to you like you're stupid, which is even worse.
3. FOMO, fear of missing out, and urgency tactics. Red circle. We are still extremely early in the adoption stage. Classic crypto scam rhetoric implying now is the only time to invest before it's too late. Red circle. Can you imagine if you had just adopted something early and sat on it? Suggests regret will come if you don't invest now, which is a hallmark of Ponzi pitches. Red circle. Millions will be made in the next year or two. A completely unverifiable claim to lure people in.
How ridiculous is that? They use the example of Bitcoin, how it was worth cents and now it's worth millions. And if you don't invest in what they tell you to invest in, you're going to miss out. Now, the whole world's going to be sitting there in a pile of tears if you listen to Jessica. Jessica's just full of ties, fear of missing out tactics. This is just scammer 101. This is just absolutely disgusting. This lady is a bottom feeder of the world. There's no doubt about
4.
it.
False comparisons and misleading analogies. Red circle. Bitcoin was once worth nothing, and now it's over $100,000. She uses historical Bitcoin growth to justify potential gains in other cryptocurrencies. Even though most coins fail. Red circle. Governments are stockpiling crypto, so you should too, misrepresenting government involvement to create a false sense of legitimacy.
It's just absolutely stupid. I think Warren Buffett, if he invested in his company, you would have made millions. So you should invest in everyone that's got a company like Warren Buffett's. You know what I'm saying? Same deal. Let's have a carry on.
5. Encouraging high-risk financial behavior. Red circle. Put $1,000 or $10,000 in and just see what happens. Irresponsible advice with no regard for financial stability or risk management. Red circle. People turn $10,000 into $1 million overnight with Trump coin, glorifying extreme speculation, without discussing how many people lost money.
Yeah, let's get both sides of the stories, Jessica. That would be more realistic, wouldn't it?
6. Promotion of unverified investment schemes. Red circle. We have a platform we're using, and it has exponential potential. Vague references to platforms without naming them is a strong Ponzi scheme. Red flag. Red circle. Access to a new coin that's being mined. Imagine owning Bitcoin in 2009, likely pushing a mined off fake token while exploiting Bitcoin's success story.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, this, I've got so much information about what she's been promoting.
7.
I can't tell you.
Downplaying risk while admitting market volatility. Red circle. There will be dips, but history repeats itself, making it seem like downturns are temporary while ignoring the fact that many projects collapse entirely. Red circle. If you have a good nervous system, you can handle the volatility, suggesting fear of losing money is an emotional issue, not a rational concern.
I mean, using emotional tactics, encouraging the dangerous security practices. We've got PDF documents of these guys telling people how to take their money out of crypto and use a gateway called Pay It Now. I know the guy that owns Pay It Now here in Christchurch, New Zealand, and I gave him the PDF how people were using his platform to get money out of these platforms where you're meant to leave your money in to show that you trust the platform. And they were encouraging people to keep the transactions under $9,000 so that didn't get red flags coming from the Australian government. I have those PDFs and I'll show you one in a few minutes.
8. Encouraging dangerous security practices. Red circle. I have no money in my bank account. I store everything in crypto. Encouraging people to abandon traditional banking for crypto, which is incredibly risky. Red circle. Use separate devices for transactions. This makes it harder for victims to track fraud and seek legal action. Red circle your seed phrase should be stored in multiple places, including your parents' house, potentially setting people up for social engineering scams.
Look, I did a video just last week, last Sunday actually, it's Saturday today, and the video was actually showing you how people were ringing me, asking me to switch on the face identification stuff on my Binance wallet so they could ring me up on a video call and use my face that's on a video to open my Binance wallet. After I told the guys that I'm not doing that because China's got a scam going there at the moment where everyone's losing money to crypto, he changed his text. And then he told me that my Binance account somebody had been trying to access it. And I said, but they didn't access it. And he goes, no, they didn't access it. And the next minute he puts me onto a supervisor who tells me that they did access my Binance wallet. And then I said, well, in between phone calls, I transferred my $15,000 Binance balance to crypto.com because your guy said I was, and then they really got upset. I don't have any money in crypto, nor do I have any money in Binance. But these scams are very prominent, which is really, really pain. I'm actually quite anxious at the moment because my camera, I took it out on a film shoot the other day and I've changed the setting, which I probably know in my head, and it keeps flashing, which is pissing me off. But anyway, security, telling people that she doesn't have any money in her bank account is a lie, because I'm telling you now that she will have a credit card that she's just making up porkies to tell you to take all your money out and put it into her platform so she'll get the commission as you sign up. This lady is a bottom feeder.
Encouraging social media hype and recruitment. Red circle, take a selfie, screenshot, and tag me to enter a giveaway. Building hype through social media to lure in more victims. Red circle, get into a community and ask questions. Code for MLM style recruiting where victims are pressured into investing.
It just pisses me off. Now, that camera's really pissing me off. You probably know me. Did I actually say that? So she's asking people to take a selfie so that she can win.
9. Encouraging social media hype and recruitment. Red circle, take a selfie, screenshot, and tag me.
You can see I'm flustered because we've already read that. Okay, financial red flags, the last red flags.
10. Final red flags and cult. Like language. Red circle, the universe is in response to our energy, using pseudoscience to justify financial decisions. Red circle, don't procrastinate. You can make a move with $10, pushing immediate action without allowing time for research or due diligence. Red circle, put your big adult pants on and make a decision. Shaming anyone who hesitates. A classic scam tactic to suppress critical thinking.
Put your big adult pants on. What terminology is that? And that's what really gets me angry when I listen to people like her.
Conclusion. Jessica Schembri's webinar is riddled with red flags that indicate she is using high-pressure sales tactics, emotional manipulation, and misleading financial claims to push people into risky investments, likely a Ponzi scheme or scam. Her refusal to provide details about platforms, combined with a focus on FOMO and mindset coaching, is textbook scam behavior.
All right, so the scam that she's actually trying to promote subtly and not say the name.
Oridus Gold Securities fraud warning from Australia.
Oridus Gold. So there's been a warning issued by Australian government saying that they shouldn't be promoting this here. And if you look in that photo there, you'll find Jessica in there somewhere. They all look the same to me. They all look like dirty, disgusting, bottom-feeder scammers. But she's in one of those photos somewhere, probably the lady with the glasses on. They probably took the glasses off for the photo shoot. Maybe that one there. I can't tell. But anyway, these are the leadership. And I think that might actually be her in the photo. Don't know. But anyway, that's on Behind MLM. So they've got information on her. That's the thumbnail I used today. And in here, there was an article here with these people. And this is the guy from GS. I've actually been on the Zoom meeting with this guy. But you can see here, Jessica Soul is mentioned in these articles. And it's just the same shit, different day. There's no doubt about it that Jessica, even this video that we actually went to, obviously I had that video listed in here. They've removed that video. And that's us for me doing my videos. They remove these videos. And just out of curiosity, the video that we are watching at the moment, I wouldn't mind betting that has been removed. I'm just going to go and have a wee look out of that out of curiosity because I've still got it cached in my computer. I couldn't download it. But if I go to, let's go to download history. And this is it here. Now, I'll just tell you something about this video. It is unlisted. She's got 69 subscribers. It's only had 5 views and it was uploaded 2 days ago. So that tells me that she has got no one following her. I've got, like her Instagram. We've exposed her Instagram account. Now, what's actually happened when we expose her Instagram, they literally renamed their Instagram handle so that people like me can't go after them. Now, it doesn't mean that you lose all the people that are following you. It just means that you can't find her easily. So if I went to Instagram, for example, and I did a search for this lady, I'll probably find her, or I'll find that she's found my account and removed it. So this is another lady, but these are the type of, this is not her, but it might be her. Don't know. They all look the same to me, to be honest. I don't know. But anyway, my point is, this lady is connected with this gold scam, and there's 44 other marketers that are Australians who are promoting the same scam. And these are all of them. And I have been in Zoom meetings with all of them. The other thing that you may need to have peace of mind, 'cause a lot of people go, how do you know it's a scam? Well, it's because I follow the governments. And here's the name of the company that they have got this company out. It's called, which is a font, I believe, Adoria's Gold. And here's the scam, and it tells you to stay away from it. And then if you also go to, and this is why she's not mentioning the name, for two reasons. She's not mentioning the name because she won't want to be associated with it. And so here's two warnings from the New Zealand government. The first warning is about Dale 1. And in here you can see that it's associated with the gold scam and GS Partners. GS Partners has been all over this, and they have been on a cruise ship together in Croatia visiting the owner of the gold company. And here is the other recommendation. So it's just, I don't need to do it. But what this video is actually about is about Jessica and her scammy tactics and her manipulation, trying to tell people what they are doing and how to advise people when she's not a financial advisor. Remember when I said if you're a surgeon, you shouldn't be operating on people? Well, it's the same with Jessica. And it's just incredible how they actually go about doing this.
Tonight is aimed to give
So
you
let's have a listen. I'm going to see if I can fix my camera.
A well-rounded look at where to start and give you an understanding. One thing that's important for me to say is that I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not telling you what to do. I will never, ever tell anyone, here is a strategy.
That is a total lie, because at the end of this video, I know that she tells people what she does and gives you a strategy. So why the hell was she saying she would not give you a strategy? She's contradicting herself. She must think people are stupid.
If you don't actually know me very well, I'll give you a little bit of a background. I'm predominantly
I've got other videos of them teaching people like Jessica how to come up with a hard luck story and a success story to make it sound feasible, to build credibility with people. So let's listen to this success story. Hello, Susie. Nice to see you here.
So I'm a business coach, a mentor, a trauma coach, and I've been.
So let's hear your qualifications then.
Been doing that for almost a decade. Previous to that, I was also a health coach and a personal trainer. I'm a mum of 2.5, 2 and 1 on the way. And I've been a business owner for 22 years. So I've got a lot of experience, more predominantly in the coaching space. And so tonight will be a little bit of, I suppose, like an insight into the mindset around becoming an investor and looking into a space like Web3, as well as some more practicalities and strategy type things. If you guys have any questions, you are always more than welcome to reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram and do all those things at any time you like. If anything's resonating, feel free to use the chat box at any time. If you're watching the recording, thanks for watching as well. So let me just share my screen. You won't be looking at me most of the night. You'll be looking at my slideshows. I can guarantee you we'll have spelling mistakes. Doesn't matter how many times I prepare slideshows, you always get a spelling mistake or two, just to prove I'm a human being. So that's always nice.
Oh, she's lovely, isn't she?
Okay, just give me 1 sec. I'll enter into full screen and share that. Then we'll get moving. Okay, so if you have your video on, just give me a thumbs up that you can see that. You should be fine. I have done this before. Thank goodness. All right, and I'm just going to...
Well, asking ChatGPT to help me fix my problem. So this is the first thing that ChatGPT picked up when I descript this video, is that she's encouraging people to do a selfie to be in her competition. But what she's effectively doing here is encouraging people to give you your details and to promote herself.
I do like to try and reply to my stories as much as I can. All right, so before we get started tonight, I wanted to let you know that I am going to do a giveaway. This is an opportunity for somebody to win some money. The reason I'm doing this is for 2 reasons. One is a selfish reason, which is,
right, I'm going to fix my camera.
I would love it if you share what I'm sharing with you. You know, if you get a takeaway, if there's...
So this is me sharing what I got from it, and you won't see me for a second, but literally I'm sharing what she invited me to share and giving you my opinion.
Something that you've enjoyed, like take a selfie, take a screenshot, wait right until the end, write down some notes, think about something that you could do to add value to your community. You know, if you're in a community, if you're loving sharing about what you're learning, tag away, and somebody, it's going to be picked randomly. So it's not about skill, it's none of that, but tag me so that other people can potentially come and have a look at what I'm doing. This is how the world works these days. Social media is meant to be social. So if you do that, you are going to go into the draw. And I was like, this is hilarious because I haven't even written what you're winning on here, but I am giving away $500 to one person, and I'm going to be giving that into your crypto wallet. So it's going to help you start or add to your crypto
journey. I'll
journey.
change one setting. Hopefully the camera's going to be better. If you see anything intelligent
yet? If you haven't done anything with crypto before, then
nope,
if you do win, it'll be awesome, because it'll mean you'll be kind of encouraged into the space, because I have to send you crypto. I'm not going to send it to your bank account. But please feel free to share. You can't have a private profile. I can't see it if you don't let me follow you. Other people can't see it. So that's the only kind of catch there.
So that tag me or follow me thing, and she's the one that's been hiding her profile the most than anyone, but she wants you to follow her and tag her. Isn't this just ridiculous?
You can enter as many times as you like, and I'll be announcing that tomorrow. So feel free to do that. Let's just check I can get to the next slide.
Right, I'm going to change another setting.
There we go. Slow on the uptake. All right. So I want you guys tonight to take this opportunity to have a think about why you're here. I think with anything that I do, I really think it's important not just to come into any space and have no intentions for yourself. It's super important that you understand, what am I doing here on a Tuesday night? Why am I sitting here learning off this lady? And be clear about what it is you want as a takeaway and where you are when it comes to like the mindset that you have around this space. Some of the assumptions I would make is that you're ready to shift your relationship with money. You may already be on a journey where you could have had some experiences that you don't necessarily love. You know, we've all been there, right? You may be assessing life and going, I don't really think the relationship I have with money is fantastic, or I think I need to build some new foundations. You may be looking for a little bit more freedom, some optionality, some, you know, some more of that, the energy of living life more on your terms. I think that most people definitely love the idea of freedom. As a coach, when I ask people what they want from their life, generally the answer is freedom. Or something to that effect. It's not freedom, it's peace or joy or, you know, a calm nervous.
Okay, so let's give Danny's breakdown. Why are you here? Now, that's very presumptuous, isn't it? Normally, a friend has encouraged you to go listen to this lady, Jessica, because they're hoping that you're going to sign up for something that Jessica does, and in turn, you'll get a referral. Are you ready to shift your relationship with money? Now, that's basically saying everything you're brought up with in your life, she's ready to say to you that she knows, even though she's not a financial advisor, that you could shift your relationship with money. Freedom, opportunity, freedom, opportunity, life on your terms, independence from partners. So I don't know if she's talking about relationship partners, but this is just total propaganda. You are tired of trading time for money. Who the hell isn't? I mean, it's rhetorical, isn't it? I mean, wouldn't you just like enough money to live life and not have to worry about anything? Drive that Lamborghini that she talks about later on. You might want you might not want to day trade, but become an investor. So you might not want to do the work. She's encouraging your subliminal mind to think about you can do other things online to generate income, like a day trader, but you might not want to do that. But don't worry, she's got another solution for you. But becoming an investor, which means that you take your money out of the bank, you have a mind shift, and you put it in a platform that's basically an app or a website, and you look at your money here instead, which when you go and try to get that money out, it won't work. Or they will freeze your money, or they'll hold your money. They'll let you take out some money initially, but never more than the principal. Never more than the 20% or the 30% or the 52% in some cases these people get will they allow you to take out, because it doesn't mathematically equate, because there's no product or service. Take advantage of the bull run. Now, she's claiming there's going to be a bull run. Everyone's claiming there's going to be a bull run because it happens every 4 years. Well, good on them. If you know how to handle that, do it. But you don't need to put your money in these platforms. Go ahead. Don't miss the boat. Now, those people who've been following us with Megan and Regan, they keep on telling you not get on her boat. And so far, I've done thumbnails of the Titanic. I've done thumbnails of Noah's Ark, and I've done thumbnails of a refugee boat. And the other day, I did a thumbnail of a guy in the water who was now told there is no boat, there is no products, and now you need to swim. So do you want to be somebody in the ocean with no boat and having to swim to save your life financially? Because that's what's going to happen. And then she tells you never to put more money in here than you can afford to lose. Shit. You want exponential growth. Wouldn't you love to put $1,000 in the bank and then tomorrow it's worth 1,500, and then 2,000, then 2.5, then 3, then 3, and then 30, then who wouldn't? So this is telling you propaganda. This is not real. Let's carry on.
System, and all of those things generally coincide with freedom. And there are going to be some people here that really want to learn how to become a little bit more independent. I know we've got a lot of women on this call because predominantly my market is women, mind you. I love seeing the guys on here too, but a lot of women don't
think you'll like seeing me on here, just saying.
Money, unfortunately. And so I know there'll definitely be people on here that can relate to that. You may be very tired of trading time for money. When it comes to crypto, you may not want to be a day trader. I'd love to know if anyone has done that before. Pop a yes in the comment box if you have a day trader in your family or you know what day trading is. A lot of people do not want to become day traders in crypto. I definitely don't want to be stuck behind my computer doing this. But you more so want to learn how to become an investor and have a look at some long-term strategies. You may have heard a lot about the bull run. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what that is tonight. You may feel a little bit of FOMO. That might be you. I definitely feel...
What the hell? You might feel a bit of FOMO. That might be you. She's hoping like hell it's you, and you're going to rush out later on. She tells you to rush out and put $100 down on Bitcoin because you're scared of missing out.
That most people feel a little bit of FOMO around, oh, have I missed the boat? Did I miss the boat? Will I miss the boat? So you may be here just with the aim of getting ahead. And I think we would all agree that we would like some exponential growth to occur when it comes to our finances. So have a think about why you're here and where you are in terms of like your mental state and what you would really like to achieve in the next 6 months, 12 months, year. It's really important because at the end of the day, you can sit here and listen to the masterclass, but at the same time, you can take information and go and do absolutely nothing with it, or you can really think about what you want to achieve and make some moves in accordance with that. All right. So my mouse is a little slow.
Oh, dear.
That's all right. Okay. So there's a few things we'll cover tonight. I always cover my story. I'm going to let you know a little bit about what I've achieved and why this interests me so much. For some of you, you will have heard this
So what
before,
she's
my
achieved,
familiar
she doesn't actually
faces.
tell you.
Thanks for listening again. My story is always evolving, but I'm going to give you an intro into crypto. I'm going to talk about some steps to help you become profitable in this space, talk a little bit about trends and the market.
Now, remember she said she wasn't going to give you any strategies? Well, she's going to now.
Speak broadly about the mistakes that people make. I think that is super important. I'm going to talk about reducing risk and some of the narratives that are occurring at the moment. Hopefully my aim with you guys is that rather than feeling any sort of overwhelm, you're going to leave the call feeling super empowered and feeling like you know a little bit more about what you're doing, what you want to do. And if someone says, why on earth would you get into crypto? You'll be like,
and a lot of times this is not crypto. This is actually her manipulating people. And this is what really pisses me off. It is nothing to do with crypto. This is using crypto to invest in a platform. She's going to tell you to diversify and make sure you got yourself in gold and all this sort of crap in a minute.
Actually, I'm finding this space pretty exciting. So for me, my story is a pretty interesting one, but what I kind of want to focus on tonight is more my story in the last, let's say, 4 to 5 years. So in 2020, we kind of all went through, some pretty interesting times with COVID and lockdowns and mandates and all those things. I also went through a divorce in 2020.
Not surprised.
Helped support my dad through cancer. I had a very interesting year.
And bugger this. I mean, I could tell you, all sorts of things to have that emotional connection with you. She went through a divorce. Oh my God. 50% of divorces fail. So poor Jessica. Oh my God. Well, she has to become an expert now. And she lost her father to cancer. That is horrible news. But I will use that news to get an emotional connection with you so you can empathize with this lady, this amazing story. But she has been taught by people like Cameron. His last name's Cameron. Forgotten his friggin' first name. She's been taught by these guys to come up with an emotional story. I've seen her in Zoom meetings learning how to form that connection with people. So as much as that's a terrible thing to go through, Jessica's gone through a divorce. Oh, no, Danny's gone through a divorce. Oh, no. And she's lost her father to cancer. Oh, no. She's using it to manipulate people, and it pisses me off.
Least. What that did for me as a business owner, as a mum, as a woman at the age of 36 was it brought a lot to the surface emotionally. And to kind of keep that story pretty short and sweet, it was an extremely hard time in my life. I was going through so many different levels of pain. I had financial trauma. I had, there was so much going on, and you can probably just stalk my Instagram if you really want to know more about all of that. But there was a lot.
No, her Instagram is there to get you to connect with her so she can keep dripping away like a tap. You ever heard the squeaky door gets the oil? It's the same stuff. Spooky Chicken, good on you, mate. Good to see you here, mate.
Happening for me in my life. And at the age of 36, although I had been a successful business owner for, my whole life, we all have our ebbs and flows, but generally very successful, generally extremely independent. I started to really question what the heck I was doing. And
I did like the way she said what the heck she was doing there. It was pretty cool. So what have we got in the chat room? Microsoft certified trainer, DAO1, so-called decentralized autonomous organization is what DAO stands for. Blockchain is actually running on a virtual private server in Germany. Oh my God. So it's not even, it's like BTCC network, which is on their own blockchain, not plugged into any other real blockchain. Smaller blockchains are used to verify transactions, and then they talk to the bigger blockchains, so I've heard, and I'm definitely not a crypto expert by any means. Yeah, so that's interesting. Hey, yeah, it's good to see everyone here, isn't it, Susie? Good on you. Well, this is, honestly, I want to do this video and actually receive this video from an anonymous person in the chat room. And this is actually her video that she's released 2 days ago. And I have got this other video, and I'm actually surprised. I've actually sent her an email, giving her the right of reply. I've got this line. Oh, it's not even me. It's a line. See that line there? Whoop, there. I thought that was my wire from my earpiece coming down and showing on camera, and I keep trying to adjust it, but it's not. It's on the picture. Hopefully she gets another slide. But let's carry on. So any other feedback would be great to hear. But this lady is disgusting. And the fact that she's only got 33 people in one of the Zoom meetings that we managed to capture is amazing. And the fact that only 5 people have actually watched this video that she's released shows you that she is a washed up scammer. And the fact that she reckons she's got a few spots left in her crypto training lesson shows you there's also a washed up scammer, because we all know you couldn't give this shit away. And she's not even an expert. In fact, she's just told us she sounds like she's a solo mum who's gone through a divorce, which is terrible. Anyway, back to her. Let's see what else we can hear from Jessica.
For some people, you might think, well, 36 isn't that old, but I was starting to think I'm about to rebuild my whole life from the ground up. I didn't feel broke, but I was at the bottom of the barrel. I knew I had the power to create miracles, but I really didn't want to be in that position at the same time. I was like, why do I need to go and rebuild now? What have I done with all the money I've earned in the last 20 years? Why do I have all of this debt from my marriage and bad decisions and loans and overdrafts? And
because it's bloody life. That's why. It's just life, Jessica. I don't know if anyone else
has ever been there, but for me, at that time of my life, it was just, wow. I was like, something's got to change here. And to be honest, there were lots of things that I had already set up foundationally that helped me survive through that stress and that strain.
I will survive.
When my daughter was born, which she is now 13, but when she was born, I started to take my money really seriously. So
before that, she didn't take any money seriously.
I had a set of principles. I had a system that I followed, and that really kept me afloat. You know, I was able to maintain paying very high rent right near the beach and keeping our lifestyle at the level that I wanted. I actually successfully paid off all the debt really quickly. And
so she got involved in hyperverse
in my life, and that strain and stress as a path to prosperity. Yes, I had my weak moments, but generally it was a path to prosperity. I used it as a launching pad into how can I thrive even
a launching pad, how to survive. And she's going to teach you all that shit.
I have my tinfoil hat on. So anyone else who's in that boat, welcome to the club. I really, really don't enjoy government control. I really didn't enjoy the lockdowns.
Oh, I love government control.
I feel many people had to make that were extremely unjust. So me and my tinfoil hat, and I also had a really big tax bill because I was successful in business, and therefore
she was successful in business, but not now.
I kind of, actually, if I'm honest, I danced with this almost like fear of earning too much, because I just knew the more I earned, the more that I was going to be taxed. And so I started to take this trip down a path where I wanted to understand what it would be like to live in a more private sector and, you know, do things that were outside of the mold. And then that led me down the path of crypto, Web3, blockchain, decentralization, all words that now are quite familiar to me, but at the time definitely were not. So a couple of years ago, I decided, that's it. I'm going hard. I'm gonna put some extreme focus into wealth building, looking at a market, looking at a time in our economy where I knew this intuitively, and I think you probably all would agree, right? You're not here because you don't know. You know something's got to change.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right? Things are changing. We can actually see it occurring. So my little boy was going to kindy and I was reporting my income and I was afraid to earn too much because then I wouldn't get my, my benefits from the government. And I had all this myriad of things happening in my own world. And I have always been that kind of woman that just tends to question things. But I did decide a couple of years ago that I was going to learn. And I said to one of my mentors at the time, when I open a crypto wallet or a platform, this looks like gobbledygook. I was like this baby giraffe trying to learn how to walk.
Oh
and
my
I'm going
God,
to speak to you guys
not the
tonight
baby
in
giraffe.
layman's terms because I still don't know everything. I am never going to tell you that I'm a crypto expert, but what I do believe I'm really, really good at is understanding the market. I believe that I'm really good at following my intuition and I'm really good at making moves. And sometimes those moves are going to be messy, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't sit still. I'm not a freaking tree, right? And that is what I kind of, I suppose in many ways, account my success to.
Yeah.
So in the last couple of years, when I started, I dipped my toe in, like really, really
cautiously. You can dip your toe in too.
I want you guys to know that. I didn't go in with huge amounts of money. I definitely didn't spend my life savings to invest into
look, we're going to speed her up a bit because I haven't got time for this shit.
Or over-promisey, because there are great opportunities everywhere, get it faster? Right? What I did was I assessed, is this space for me, right? Am I willing to learn about it? Can I handle new things? Now, if we think about it, guys, it wasn't that long ago.
Timer.
I heard a stat today.
We could put the sleep timer on.
It wasn't that long ago that only 30% of the world used the internet.
Really?
Right? It wasn't that long ago that someone told us that we needed to log into our internet banking. And if you're 40 or older, because I'm 40, you'll know that. Like I remember thinking, oh my God, this is so risky. Like I'm going to log in on my phone.
Is that too fast?
Into my banking. This is outrageous. So I know that I'm really good at making moves. I know that I'm capable of managing change. And in the crypto space, in the Web3 space, you have absolutely got to be ready for those things, right?
Susie.
But for me, I did not in any way, shape or form throw all of my life savings in. I dipped my...
So dip your toes in would mean you just put 5,000. They go after the low-hanging fruit. You put 5,000 in, Jessica will get $1,000. And we know that's a lot of money for Jessica because she's a solo mum and solo mums don't have lots of money. And also solo mums don't have more than 30 people in their Zoom meetings, which we can see in the Zoom meeting how many people were in it. And you can also see that she's the people that have got their cameras on, there's probably normally you get 10% of people having their cameras on, the rest of the people don't. But anyway, is Web3 crypto for you? Ooh, I don't know what crypto free is. Well, if you don't know what crypto free is, don't listen to Jessica. It's not rocket science. Are you ready to begin this journey? Who the hell does not like going on a journey? Of course I'm ready. And how many hours per week are you willing to spend in this space? Now, in my subliminal brain, it actually tells me that I don't want to spend many hours building up my income. In fact, and that's telling me that the opportunity that she's not going to give you, what she said at the start, she's not going to push you into anything or give you a strategy, isn't actually, how do I say, isn't going to take you long to achieve. Because at the end of the day, all she wants from you is your money. She doesn't care what you do with it after that because she knows that all you're going to do is put your money in the platform. And if you sit there and look at your money on the phone and you see it going up, you'll probably put more money in. And then when you start questioning the fact that how do I get my money out, she's either going to ghost you or tell you that they've got a problem about now. And that's how it works. Are you going to lean in and get support? Lean in? Is that the word she's used? Are you going to lean in and get support? So she needs you to sign up for her coaching package. And I assume she really does mean lean in. My goal was to help you with world's best performing asset class if you want it. Do you want it? Are you happy for this? Come on.
My toe in and I learnt as I went, because the crypto space is not for everybody.
And are you going to take advantage of an amazing opportunity? It's like day trading, okay? Now, day traders, did you know that 90%, 87% of people who do day trading lose money? 87%. So you got to be effing good if you're going to be a day trader. Now, day trading, if you find a good provider and you do trust the provider that you're doing the day trading with, then you still got 13% chance to make your money. So it's just ridiculous. You know, this is the stats that you've got. Now, this isn't day trading. This is straight putting your money in a crypto platform, a Ponzi scheme, which she's not giving you the name of because she doesn't want to mention the name because it's been flagged by the Money Smart in Australia and also the FMA here in New Zealand.
Absolutely not for everybody, right?
Slide number 2.
I had a lot of money sat in my bank account. I was doing quite well, and I kept checking how much interest I was earning. And I was looking at inflation rates. I started to understand what fiat currency really was. And I've done a whole masterclass on that. So that's not a topic for today.
All right, Lee, just tell me how stupid that claim is. She's got money in the bank and she's not getting interest for it. So you take the principal out of the bank and you put it into an unstable environment because you're thinking different now, aren't you? Because before she said you need to change your mindset on how to do it. So you take your principal out and you put it into a platform. And the platform says it will give you more interest than the bank. But no one's talking about the elephant in the room, and that is the principal is all gone. So if you have $10,000 and you put it into Jessica's scheme that she's not going to promote to you, you will lose your principal, even if you do get more interest than you do in the bank. But don't put in money that you're prepared to lose. How stupid is that claim? And this is what she will say in a few minutes because I watched it.
But I really started to question what on earth I was doing, and I started to ask myself, how much more time am I going to trade? Like, I can't do this forever. I'm one of those women that would like to retire ASAP. Not that I'll ever stop working, but I'd like to have the freedom to not work if I choose that, do more things with my family. But there's a few questions that I want you to ask yourself as well, which is this for you, and are you in willingness? You know, willingness is something that you either have or you don't. So if you're sat there and you've already got your arms crossed.
Oh, so you've got to have the right attitude. I've got my arms crossed. I'm not listening to you. So if you're that person, I'm not going to listen to this shit. Well, then you're a good person in my books, but she's a predator.
Just uncross them. Just relax. I'm watching some of you. And ask yourself, like, am I generally ready to begin the journey? And how many hours a week might I spend doing it? Is another really good quality question. And will I be willing to lean in and get support? At the end of the day, the only way I've found success in this space is by having people to lean on, and by having people to ask questions to. And it's not always about hiring like an expert to solve your problems and
no, because she's not an expert.
Because trust me, they're everywhere, right? Like, you can go and get the crypto expert, and I can tell you I turned 40,000 into 300,000 in 2 years.
Yeah, that's her.
Which I did. But guys, is that even relevant? No, not to me, right? Like, what's relevant and why I'm here is to serve you with information that is actually going to help you move ahead. And for some of you on this call, you may take this information and run with it and go, fuck yeah, I'm doing this. And for others, you might say, you know what, I want to turn 2,000 into 4,000 by the end of the year. And that is still a fantastic goal, just so you know, right? Like, any growth that is bigger than what you're getting in the bank by just sitting your money in there, any growth at all.
All right, now I'm going to tell you, would you like to turn one token into, now I don't even know, I have got my calculator. Okay, so I got given a Pulse token, right? And it was worth 160 New Zealand dollars, right? So it turned into $2,500. So I'm going to divide that by 160 equals. So I 15 times my money. And I got given it as a gift by somebody who believes in Richard Hart, and they gave me a Pulse token worth 160 New Zealand dollars. 6 weeks after I got it, it went down to $82. $82 worth. Well, that's what it said on the screen. And then it shot right up to $2,500. Now, I could use that to tell you that I have made 15x on some of my tokens. I made money on Schembri as well. I bought in, I 6x my money. So I'm a crypto genius. Aren't I really? Now, I thought I won't sell my Pulse token I had because it was gifted to me. And I didn't think it would be right because the people that gave it to me actually really believed in the token. And it was what I call the goat boys, and they're a bit of a laugh. Now, today, that has gone up 17%. I could say to you, it went down to $700, and now it's shot back up to $920. So I'm still up on the game by 4 or 5 times, but 24 hours ago, it went down to $695, and then this morning, it's worth $920. Go looking at their graph, which is quite interesting. So I could give you some porky stories and make it sound good if I want, but I'm not going to tell you about the fact that if I bought it at $2,500 for a Pulse coin, that it dropped right down to $900. And this is the volatile market that she's asking people who know nothing to get involved in. And this token, the Pulse chain coin, I don't even think I can get it back to real money. I don't know how to withdraw my Pulse token into fiat currency. And I don't believe I can. It's stuck on their blockchain. And please, somebody let me know if it's possible. But I might find somebody who wants to get into Pulse chain, and I might be able to do a peer-to-peer transaction. And that's what some of these scammers are now doing. They're allowing people who've got their money stuck on these platforms to do peer-to-peer transactions. And how that actually works is, I've made all this money on the gold opportunity, and it's so fantastic. I've decided to sell some of my money and let you buy them off me directly. And we can negotiate a price. That's what a peer-to-peer transaction. So as I'm leaving the building going, Jesus, I'm going to lose all my money, they're looking for people who are coming in to sell and trade that too. And that's the only way you're going to get your money. So if you're a believer, that's the way to go. All right, so let's have a listen. And Karen said, I'm going to put some of the comments that are in the chat room along the top so you can read them.
Is progress. And
Crypto G's in the house.
Addictive. So at the moment, when we look at crypto as a whole, it is it's pretty much the world's best performing asset class right now, but there are many ways that you want to be thinking about diversifying. I've also done a masterclass on decentralized space and on diversification. So please, if you do.
Last time I heard somebody saying they did a masterclass, it was in Hyperverse. Hyperverse is a scam which is reported they lost $1.9 billion. I believe it's a $2 billion scam, but let's not go there. And somebody said they did a masterclass and they're a certified trainer in a scam. So saying she's done a masterclass is unverified. A masterclass where? Where did you go and learn this masterclass? Who was it? What platform? Who gave you the certificate? And how much did it cost you to get your name stamped on it? I don't know. I mean, it's just bullshit. When they make these claims, it pisses me off. From zero, a multiple 6-figure portfolio in 2 years. I do not know any way that you could invest zero. If I put no money in and I have no money in, how does a zero multiply? I'm just saying. Recovery from financial trauma and taking full body responsibility. Does that mean she's lost all that money? I must have missed this. Coaching company, making money, so I know how to minimize the risk and make moves strategically. Now, she said at the start of this video, she's not going to give you any strategic advice. Well, she's changing that. What it means for my family: more connection, more time, more fun, more freedom, and another baby on the way. Well, some poor bastard will be paying child support with this lady. Anyway, let's carry on.
If you want links to those, feel free to reach out. I may even try and pop them all in the email for you with the recording. I will ask my assistant to tell me with that. So yeah, that's my investment journey. I have had a wonderful experience, but there's definitely been a lot of times where my nervous system has been shot. There have been times where I have felt like I have potentially overreached, where I have felt like, should I pull the money out? Should I wait a little bit longer? And I had a lot of financial trauma, which all of us have, just so you know, in one way or another.
A lady that's had a lot of financial trauma would mean that she takes high risk.
You 5,000 times when you're a kid, when you continue asking for a 30-cent cone from McDonald's like I did. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. You shouldn't want for that. Even if it's just that, even if you can just relate to something like that occurring as a child, you have some form of trauma or some form of misalignment when it comes to the relationship you have with money. And I actively had to understand for myself that I was recovering from my financial trauma for years and years and years. And that in itself is an active journey. And then unfortunately, when I went through my divorce, I had more financial abuse. I had more financial strain.
Spot the lady that hasn't got over a divorce.
So here I was again. Like I felt like I was in the washing machine going, wow, here we go again, Jess.
She's on the washing machine.
But thankfully for me, I do have a great coaching business. And so I was able to, I always know how I can make money, right? And I think
she's got a great coaching business, but she can't give away the tickets.
We all know how to make money one way or another, right? We all have jobs and ways we pay our rent and our mortgage. So I've been able to use
Crypto G, nice to see you, mate.
To sustain.
I just told him to get in the chat room.
Risk and make moves strategically and not
she's
go overboard and follow things just because I want to get rich quick. If you do.
Crypto G, this is a propaganda video about a lady. She won't mention the name of the scams that she's promoting, but she's all over the notorious. I can't say the name of it, but the what do you call it? GS Partners, and how they've rebranded it. Now they're called Deo One, and she's come up with. She's not giving financial advice, but she's about to.
If you do take advantage of these bull runs and these markets and do it properly, fantastic. Like I'd love to hear all the success stories. But I think for me, at the end of the day, and I want you to assess this for yourself, what does it really mean for your family? You know, there were times when I really did, I must say, like think, gosh, did I overreach? Did I put too much in? Have I done this wrong? And
but what about never invest more money than you're prepared to lose?
The last couple of years, I live a great life, but I've leaned down in many ways in the way I spend and the way I make decisions, because I've chosen to make my investment strategies a high priority in my life.
Okay. And that's what she's telling you to do. Did you notice the subtleness?
Trust me, if I can do it, anybody can.
Trust me.
I don't say that to dumb myself down, but I really made it a priority.
Oh, well, how much have you made, Jessica? Are you going to tell us?
Anyone who tells me money doesn't make you happy, sure, go with that until you've got the freedom that I have or other people have. That gives
if this lady was a success,
family, more fun, more freedom.
She wouldn't be in here running webinars, hoping that people are going to sign up for her.
If I didn't have my finances at the age of 40, I can tell you that, right? So at the end of the day, money does matter because it gives you choice. And I can go on about that forever, but everyone's level of wealth, idea of financial freedom.
So she's not quite sleeping on the streets, right? But she's not far from it.
Some people will want to use their crypto strategies to pay off their mortgages faster, to act fast and to maintain a property portfolio. Others, it's for travel. For me, it is quite literally just so that I can spend more time with my children
Susie,
and be more present. And so I don't have to use words and phrases like, I'm sorry,
over here, Spooky Chicken.
That.
Or
we
it is
can't
gold.
do that. I definitely don't want to spoil
or
my
it is
children,
gold.
But I want to be able to say, I've got time for you. And the only way I do that is by creating more financial freedom so that I don't have to keep saying yes to things I want to say no to. And that was me in 2020, burnt out.
Oh, she's burnt out. She's still burnt out. She's a washed out scammer. So let's, Danny, have a read of this. What is crypto? Okay, in the chat room, everybody, I've just put a poll. But what is crypto? Crypto is a payment gateway. No, it's not. It's a way to get money from people and transfer it back into fiat currency after you've ripped somebody off. So it does give people an opportunity to do transactions and get money back to fiat currency if they want to. Anyway, that's my interpretation. Digital money. Oh, that's what it is. Like digital gold. She's using those snap words now to get you. Run on the blockchain. Okay, the largest being BTC, created in 2019. Well, you've missed your boat on that one, haven't you? So that's 16 years ago. Blockchain, a notebook everyone can see. A notebook everyone can see. Nobody can erase it. Network. Well, you can erase BTCC. I'm sure you could just make that blockchain disappear, couldn't you? Run on the blockchain, digital money that grows in value. Coin. Okay, so I don't know if it does always grow in value because you can lose money on it. So it's not always, is it? Am I right there? The biggest blocks are some is people don't trust the system, but the blockchain creates the trust. So you can see the transactions, but you don't trust it. So if you saw money going out of your bank account, just Danny's perspective here, you can see it going out because you can trust that you can see it going out Does that mean that you do or you don't trust the system? It doesn't mean trust doesn't mean wealth. Is that what I'm getting? All transactions are recorded and coded. Smart contracts. Another brilliant little word there. Smart contracts. That makes you think. Smart contracts. Another ping word there, isn't it? Problem right now, the financial system is failing us. Scare tactics. Fiat currency is diminishing. People need better solutions and upgrades, and this is a solution for you. Okay. Governments and centrals backing is flawed. AF. What's AF stand for? AF? Artificial inflation? I don't know. Banks have power, not the people. Power to the people. Let's give it back to the people. Solution. Here she go. She's not giving you financial advice. She's just talked about banks. She's talked about the governments. And now she says solution. Here it is. She's giving you financial advice. Decentralized power to the people. Unlimited control given to us. She's one of those people. She's giving you propaganda to give the power back to the people. Stop the government and the banks taking our money. Let us spend our money how we like. But she'll take a commission along the way. Let's carry on, Jessica.
I was thriving financially once I got through my divorce. I was busy, but my goodness, I was burnt out. I had a folder this thick with clients, like one-to-one clients, and I had to write down everything because I couldn't even remember my clients' children's names because I was that bloody busy. It was a great problem to have, being in demand, but it was definitely not in alignment with my bigger values in life. All right, so let's get into some nitty-gritty.
If you were a scammer, would you sit here and talk about your values?
Please let me know if you have any questions, feedback. I can see the chat.
How do you sleep at night being a scammer, Jessica? I should bring up her partner who I've been talking to. Russell, was it? Russell? I've got his name here somewhere.
If things are resonating, that's fantastic. So I'm going to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty, and I am starting from the start. So some of you may be like, yes, we already know this, but I'm aiming to accommodate for everybody.
Okay.
And I always say with any webinar or masterclass, it's really important to know that if you don't know this information like the back of your hand, then just take it as an opportunity to learn again. Because once it's locked in, you'll feel fantastic. So what is crypto? It is basically just digital money, and it is run on the blockchain. The largest cryptocurrency, which we all know, right? Bitcoin, BTC,
Okay.
created in 2009.
I read this already for you, Jessica.
We all wish that we bought some crypto in 2009, don't we? That scammy thing, Bitcoin. No. I bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in about 2015, and as soon as it went to $2,000, I took it out. So trust me, I got the FOMO too. I got the annoyance in self, the frustrations of not actually understanding what on earth I was doing.
So if you're in here and you don't know what you're doing, Jessica felt exactly the same way, and now she's got financial freedom, and she can spend her time in Zoom meetings asking and begging people to sign up for her master course because she wants to help you.
Basically, when we talk about the word blockchain, it is, a lot of people can say they've owned crypto and sold it. Yeah, many people. So, damn it. The guy that bought the pizza with his crypto, I'll never, ever forget that story. When we talk about the blockchain, basically.
Everyone put your hand up if you've never heard about the guy that bought the pizza with the Bitcoin story. I never heard that story. That's one story that we will never hear again. That is an amazing story. Remember that one story? We will milk that until there's no milk left in the cow. Put your hand up if you haven't heard the story. I will tell you. Put your hand down. Put a one in the chat room if you want me to tell you the story about the guy that bought the pizzas with Bitcoin. Put a 1 in the chat room. Put a 2 in the chat room if you want me to press play and continue listening to Jessica tell you how to build your financial freedom. Put a 2 in the pick room. Put a 2 in the chat room if you want me to continue letting Jessica tell her how to build your financial freedom. Put a 1 in the chat room if you want me to tell you the pizza story. Okay? I'm waiting. 0. There's a 0 in the chat room. That's causing confusion. That's 7. There's no 1s and there's no 2s. But let's carry on. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your support.
It's a notebook that everyone can see. No one can erase it. And that's the network 69. That we work with. When we talk about crypto, the digital money is actually run on the blockchain, and that money grows in value most of the time, right? Or if you're picking the right coins and you have the right strategy.
And how easy is that? Crypto G's in the room. Can you please give us a list of the right coins to buy right now? because we want you to share your crystal ball with us. And if anybody knows the right coins to buy right now that are going to go up in value, please let us know. And please, can you give us the money to invest because you're so sure of your decision to tell us that?
Some of the biggest blocks for people at the moment is just purely that they don't trust the system. They don't trust the blockchain. And we're all indoctrinated into a system where we have more trust in a bank at the moment than we do in something like blockchain.
Rod.
So it can feel a little bit,
Hi, Rod.
Oh my gosh, there's digital wallets and there's this and there's that.
You can't resist this one, can you, Rod?
All transactions are recorded and there are smart contracts.
I'll just tidy you up so you look nice on screen.
As I'm just seeing in the comments, there are a lot of people that don't trust the system. But for many people, it can be quite difficult to work your way out of a system that you're so familiar with.
Where is he?
Into something unfamiliar. And I've been doing that for quite a while. So I joke now, I look broke as fuck to the bank, and I love that. Like sometimes I'm like, I've got to go get cash out because of my crypto because I've got no money in my bank account, which is good for me because I don't really like holding fiat because it's not backed by anything and it's actually lowering in value every minute.
She doesn't like holding fiat currency because the money's going through her fingertips. How you going, Rod? Nice to see you here. You're looking well. You're a Kiwi German. Is that right?
Just German.
Just German. Are you're originally from Kiwi, aren't you?
Nah.
I thought you were a Kiwi living in Germany.
Nah. Yeah, nah.
Nah, you're freaking Kiwi. They can't have a yeah, nah in German. What is yeah, nah in German? And do they have yeah, nah? Yeah, nah?
They've got something similar.
Are they?
They just press everything together.
I absolutely love the yeah, nah. What do they call
it? In German, they say jein.
Jein.
So basically yes, but a no.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's good. Are you enjoying Jessica here? Have you learned anything today?
Hilarious.
Yeah, and what about your interpretation, what crypto is? We've had Crypto G here who's given his interpretation. What do you think crypto is to you, just so we get it from, somebody who understands crypto a little bit more than the average bear?
It's you're putting me on the spot.
I know.
I enjoy crypto.
But this isn't crypto, eh? That's the problem. She's preaching crypto message.
I just signed in about maybe 20 minutes ago, so I don't know what she's trying to sell.
She's trying to give you financial freedom, mate. And she's not putting any names of what she's trying to sell because she's trying to groom her little sheep so she can slaughter them. So she's just on a...
Yeah, but what...
She's digital gold.
I still haven't heard anything what she's trying to sell, as in...
Well, no, she's trying to sell the fact that she was divorced and she had a divorce and her father died of cancer, which is very sad. And she's at that stage of trying to build that connection with you so that you can have an emotional decision at the end of it. And you have to contact her privately and then she's going to encourage you to get involved. It's a winner, this one, mate. This is chicken dinner. It's not, we've even got spooky chicken in here. So let you spike up when you want to put your hand up and I'll stop and you can tell me what you think about what she's just claimed. Because so far, she's explaining what the blockchain is and she's telling you that you can make money with crypto as long as you know what tokens to buy. It's not rocket science. So here we go.
Every day, unfortunately. So the financial system as a whole is failing us. The fiat currency is diminishing. People do need better solutions. And government and central banking is very, very flawed. I think we can all agree. The banks have the power, not the people. The great and exciting thing about blockchain decentralized space is that it gives the people the power. It allows us to have control over what we do. Again, that's another rabbit hole. But if you've ever tried to get some money out of your bank, some of you may have already had the bank ask you what for. As far as I'm concerned, it's nobody's business why you want to move money around.
Well, I can tell you one example. A lady that went to the financial crime summit with me, her name is, where is that? Focus camera. There it is. The Global Financial camera's playing up today, Rod. Financial focus. Financial crime summit. She lost $39,000 and the bank said to her, no, you're not going to give it away. No, they didn't actually. The bank actually let her do what she wanted to do with her money because it's her money and she can do what she wants with her money.
Go on, mate.
Anyway, you're there, you're gone. He's bounced off the screen. Anyway, so she gave away $39,000 to a romance scheme. Kathy is her name, lovely lady. And the bank actually, first time ever, refunded Kathy all her money because they didn't do enough to warn Kathy about it. So that was one. But here's Jessica telling you that, the banks don't let you do what you've done with the money because they're trying to save you from getting scammed because they're the ones that fit those phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Rod might come back in a minute. He's just obviously had an internet connection. They haven't got internet in Germany.
And so that's what excites me about blockchain and Web3 technology. Now, we are still extremely early in the adoption stage, so you haven't missed the boat. I think it's the statistic is under 10% of people actually own crypto at the moment. So even though Bitcoin was created quite a long time ago now, we still are early adopters in this space, which is really
10% of people own crypto in the world. 10% of people. That means there's 90% of people that still want to get involved in crypto, and there's a lot of money to be made. A lot of money to be made.
exciting. But just like I had a little statistic, I'll have to find it. But just like anything, right? There's always going to be a time in history. I mean, like the time that electricity didn't exist, right? And it took over 100 years for other people to bring out things that could use the electricity, like the toasters and the devices and the hair straighteners and all the things we now just plug in and don't think about, the normal ways of life. When years ago, it was quite normal not to do those things.
So I should buy toasters?
So crypto will become the exact same thing eventually. Blockchain and Web3 will be a normal way of managing our money and work.
She pulled that data out of her bottom. And she used that data. She searched the interweb and she found somebody somewhere said that data that you can buy a toaster because electricity and crypto, the same.
Working with our wealth. So be smart to at least get your toe in and have a little look around.
And you do really want to figure out how many people bought toasters and got scammed.
Now, when we have a look at why it's so popular, and I'm starting to get into graphs, but just a few for tonight.
Oh my God, another person that said graphs. Where the hell is Rob Willie when you need him? He says graphs, I say graphs. Is it graphs or graphs? But she's into graphs. This one might be one. Hey, Rob, this one's single. Where's Rob? I'm going to get him in here.
Bitcoin has outperformed traditional assets by 26,000% in the last decade. I'm not selling you Bitcoin, by the way. I'm just using Bitcoin as an example because it's a well-known coin.
It's the biggest one.
If we have a look at this chart here, this is the current top assets by market cap. And if you have a look at Bitcoin there, it is literally creeping its way over some pretty impressive spaces like Facebook, for example, like Meta, right? Now that's pretty phenomenal. It's got more wealth and more I suppose, like market cap than Tesla. And when you look at things like Amazon, when you look at things like Apple, Microsoft, single companies, and it's heading on up, it's a pretty impressive place to be playing in. Just the same as if you would have bought some Apple stocks 25 years ago, right? Everything's great in hindsight. But what
I want to buy some apples. I bought myself some shares in a fruit company called Apple.
we want to be doing as investors or as people who are willing to learn about how to make our money work is we want to be educated.
Are you
right?
not
And you don't
willing to
actually need to
learn?
be that educated. Like you can be completely down every rabbit hole. But for me, it works to know the basis of what's happening so that I can actually go, yeah, I understand what's happening in the market. I can see the value of this asset is climbing. And that was a day or two ago. So it's probably gone up now. Very exciting things to look forward to if you
Remember, at the start, Jessica said she is not a financial consultant and only invests the money that you're prepared to lose. And she will not give you any strategies and she will not force you into anything. She will not come to your house and grab your phone and force you to invest in crypto. But she's not going to give you any strategies. It's not her job. She's just going to tell you her story.
are the owner of some Bitcoin, just for example. So it's undeniable as an asset class. And the good thing about it is it has limited availability. Now, one of the things that I talk about a lot is the percentage of your portfolios that you allocate into spaces. And I'll kind of continue to get onto that as we go along. I hope you guys are all enjoying and following along and keeping up. I don't want to talk too fast, but nor do I want to talk too slow because we'll be here till
we want you to talk fast.
But there's lots of different things that happen in the Web3 space. And I suppose what I would call it is innovation. So inside of the blockchain and Web3 space,
I would call it scammer nation.
we've got artificial intelligence coming in. We've got gaming. We've got altcoin. We've got meme coins. We've got NFTs.
Oh, she's going to talk about Donald Trump soon.
We've got decentralized finance. And then we've got real world assets, not work assets. I told you that'd be a good spelling mistake.
But she doesn't mention anything about Ponzi schemes and scams.
Or two. Because I do my own slideshows. Does any of that feel like overwhelming or just like icky? Like when I first heard the word AI, I was like, I hate AI. I'm never.
I hate AI. I hate AI. Well, AI has used us to descript everything you have said in this video. I used Summarize to do so. And then I got that script and I put it into AI and I asked AI to give me all the red flags about what you're doing, Jessica.
Ever going near it. I don't want to know what an altcoin is. Like, I'm a girl. I want Femme Fridays and like massages and flowers and sunshine.
Oh my God.
But at the end of the day, this is where the world is heading. And so we have to understand that, and as Steve Jobs said, innovation is the ability to
big
see
names.
change as
Use
an
the big
opportunity,
names.
not a threat. And
Jessica.
that is the way I like to look at it. You don't need to know a lot, but you do need to see it as an opportunity. And that all comes down to the mindset you have around the space. Yes, risk does exist in every single space, but one of the biggest things.
Let's brush over the risk factor really quickly. And let's just say risk does exist, but don't invest more money than you're prepared to lose. And let's carry on with the next sentence, because if you took the risk in investing in these crypto platforms, it's something stupid. Now I'll give you a Danny stat. 99% of people that invest in these scams lose. 99%. That's Danny's statistic. Don't quote me on it, but do quote me on it if you want. Just make sure you use my name, the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Now, crypto is spelled C-O. Oh, you know how to spell it. So what I'm saying is they brush over the negative stuff. It's not a balanced view. I mean, like, yeah, you can make money on crypto, but you can't really make money on these platforms unless you're willing to recruit. That's my 2 cents worth.
This space is to understand that things that often do have a bit of risk also have a lot of value. And then we want to understand how risk versus reward and be able to work with that in a way that feels fantastic for our nervous system. I'm never, ever going to sell you any hype, just so you know. So I'm going to go through just a few kind of steps around what I would say is the basis of becoming profitable in this space.
Okay.
Hopefully these things are going to be quite simple, quite straightforward, but also you may think as I go through this, that seems super obvious. How come I've never thought of it this way? Like, why am I still sitting on the fence? Why haven't I made a move yet? That's my aim for you tonight, is to...
Oh my God. So she's not going to give you a strategy. She's not going to pressure you into anything. She's not going to give you financial advice, but she's going to tell you, why haven't I done anything yet? You know, this sort of shit is why I call this video the propaganda video.
Get the cogs turning and empower you towards making some moves.
Empower you.
So,
the terminology is good there.
I said my thing was slow and now it's getting faster. All right. So
what thing
there's
was
4 steps that I want you guys to understand. Very, very simple, very common sense. Firstly, you need to know what to buy. Would we all agree with that?
No.
Yeah. Anyone bought a few things they regret? Anyone caught onto some hype? Anyone own an NFT that's worth nothing now or not? You've never seen a profit from? A lot of people. Oh, now
you went the wrong way.
Now my slideshow is having a field day.
She went the wrong way.
You also need to know when to buy. So understanding how to spot patterns, understanding overvalued, undervalued, looking for opportunities. You also need to know when to sell. A lot of that comes down to our emotions, our nervous system regulation, and having a plan in place.
And guess what? She's going to help you with all that. You just need to do a master course training thingy.
Right? So feeling solid in yourself and then knowing your systems and security. All right. So one thing is, it's important for you to have a strategy. It doesn't need to be complex, but you need a strategy. Now, the reason for that is because, as I mentioned earlier, I work with principals that support my wages or my income.
Here comes a lady that has no principles, no scruples, no ethics, and she's telling you she has principles. But what sort of principles are they? They could be from scammer school.
I wrote banking and wages there.
We're talking about bad actors, crypto. Oh, did I pause her? Sorry, carry on.
And understand the relationship you have with money first. If you're like unaware of if I said to you, what's your assets? Like, you know, how much are you worth? How much debt have you got? What's your financial trauma? What's your blueprint of our money? How do you spend? How do you feel when you go to spend? How many times do you feel guilt or shame around money? If I asked you all these questions, I sincerely hope that you'd be able to answer them. And if you cannot answer them, I wouldn't recommend trying to buy crypto yet. I really wouldn't. Or maybe just buy like a really small amount. But the problem with that is that you're not going to actually make exponential wealth moves if you haven't really thought about your strategy first. Into an opportunity. What I would way prefer to see people do, particularly under guidance of me or recommendations that I would make, is look for how much you want to progress in a year, right? First and foremost. So it's not always about, oh my gosh, I need to like turn 40K into 300K. I want that story. It might be, I want to 5X or I want to 2X my money. Most people would be happy with a 2X. Can I get like some?
Yeah, but what about a negative
happy
X?
With double? If they doubled their savings in a year just by using a strategy, would you be kind of happy? Because I would be. For anyone who didn't say yes, I think you need to check yourself because the bank is never going to double your money for you for doing barely nothing.
Okay, this is total propaganda. The bank does not take away your principal and use your principal to pay you the interest. Your principal is relatively safe in the bank. Now, shoot me down if I'm wrong, but if you give your principal to any of these platforms that Jessica's going to introduce you to, you're going to lose your principal and they're going to use your principal to pay your interest. And normally, the only way to ever get your principal back is by recruitment. And all these platforms have the same flavor on them. Now, I could be wrong, but the bank has never used my money to pay me back my interest. In fact, I don't really care what they do with my money. I'd like to think they're loaning my money out to help people mortgage their houses and build their houses. There's no mortgages available on the internet at the moment that I know of, but that's just my 2 cents worth.
If I could turn $1 into $2, I'd be thrilled. If I could turn $1 into $5, I'd be extremely thrilled, right? So manage what you want to achieve. And maybe that's your first goal is like, all right, so for the first 6 months, I just want to see my money double because then I'm going to feel good. I'm going to develop more trust with the system. I'm going to feel more empowered. And then there'll be other people who are like, oh no, I'm going for the 100X and I'm going to play this game like a beast and I'm going to ride the bull run and I'm going to never buy a takeaway coffee.
All right, so both these strategies are misleading. So she's telling you that go for the low end of the scale where you're going to just double your money, or go for the high end of the scale where you're going to times it by 100. That is propaganda because first of all, I have done a little bit of crypto stuff myself. And I probably broke even. Like I've got money in Pulse Chain, but I can't take it off. I've got money. I did have money on Shimu Inu, and I did make money. But I also bought some NFTs, which are related to the crypto industry, and I lost money in buying Marble comics. But I knew somebody who worked at Marble, and I thought it was a good thing. Shavis Anwar. Let's not go there. But anyway, so that's a pretty misleading statement. Just saying.
Again, I'm not having any fun, and I'm putting all my money into this. And you might be that person as well, right? But it's important to understand that you must manage your excitement. Be very clear on the game you're playing.
She is leading the witness. Judge Judy would have a field day. You must control your excitement. Judge Judy would say, do not lead the witness, that this is exciting, because she's trying to get you all excited about investing in crypto. She's trying to say, rush off after you listen to me, buy some crypto, then come back to me and I'll tell you where to put your crypto. And
the strategy you have, right? Do not copy others. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about this real fast. Trump coin. Anyone still own a Trump coin?
Yes.
I laugh because it's so interesting how people's behavior is exposed when we see things that are hypey. So one of the things that if anyone knows basically what happened with that, Trump released a coin and millionaires were made in a matter of hours.
I'd love to know what you think about Trump coin.
Like people put in 10 grand and they've made $1 million, they turned it into $1 million. So there was heaps of stats around certain people. Now these people,
masterclass. I have got it here, Susie. I might be able to find that.
A lot of insider knowledge. They're probably day traders who are on there, who barely sleep. And yeah, they bought in and they did well. And it's very exciting, right? I shared a little bit on my social media, just the excitement of watching it. I was very...
Alrighty, now there's a disclaimer there. I'm just going to put the link to her newsletter, which does actually give you her email, her current Instagram handle, and also what we're looking at here. I'm just going to see if her current Instagram handle actually works because she keeps changing it or she's blocked me, one of the two. Let's have a look. Her advertised crypto handle, Instagram handle does not look like it's hers. I'm just putting that in the chat room for the others. But in saying that, I'm just curious if she set this up. This is private. So I'm going to go follow, and then I'm going to go send a message. And I'm just seeing this. So I don't know if you guys follow this, but she keeps renaming hello. And I'm also going to give her the link to this video in the Instagram handles, which I'm sure she watches if you communicate. So I've just done that. I did have a method of my madness there, but I'll have to carry on. I've got a little surprise for you guys. We have got the AI Jessica, who's just created herself, and she's going to come on stage in a few minutes.
Fortunate, I bought in fairly early. I didn't turn into a millionaire, but I bought in early enough that I got to triple.
Oh, yes, I remember now. When I put this into AI come back and said that she's misleading people with the meme coin, Trump coin, because she's failed to mention all the people that lost money on that and just talks about the people who made money. So no doubt she was quick, and if she did make money, I would like to see some proof of it. Just saying.
Triple my money in a day, and that was fantastic. But I also didn't put my life savings in there, so I only tripled a little bit of money, right? But God, it felt good. But there are a lot of people that bought too high because they were copying other people, and they were like following someone else's game instead of their own, because they didn't have these top 2 points covered, which was they didn't know how they work with money, and their emotional regulation around money was probably quite shit. And yeah, like if you bought one coin
Gosh,
for
she's
50 or
classy
70
with
US,
words,
it's
isn't
not really a
she?
big deal. But if you did kind of, I know there were definitely people who felt highly disappointed because they didn't get the hit they were looking for.
The hit.
So some of the strategies in the crypto space do require you to be glued in. And for me, what I generally prefer to do is invest or to put my money into places that I feel I can see trends around innovation and technology, companies that I may have a relationship with, things that feel better for my nervous system. But after a while, you can definitely get into having fun. You know, like it's really, really fun to go, oh yeah, I know I've got my wallet set up and I know I've got $1,000 and I'm going to throw it on Trump and turn 1,000 into 3.5 grand in a day on a Sunday while I'm at the beach, right? But those things come down the track. They are fun, but they're not going to be for everybody. But it's just an example.
You get addicted to the fast-moving markets.
So the bull run and the bear run. Does anyone know what the bull market and the bear market is? Is that like a little bit foreign? Some people do. Okay, cool. So I'll just run you through this because this is a really important thing to understand. And this is the same with stock trading. This is the same with real estate. There are going to be similar trends, historical trends that come through in any space that we're looking to make money, right? Historically, what happens is people will buy when the excitement is the
Alrighty, so as I said earlier on, I've got a whole lot of red flags. I actually have set up a Jessica Soul AI. This is not the real Jessica Soul, so don't tell me that this doesn't sound like her. This is just an AI version. I haven't programmed her in any which way or form, but I would like to just have a quick conversation with her. Hello, Jessica Soul. Nice to have you here. We're literally watching a webinar where you are giving crypto advice to people. But unfortunately, we haven't got any qualifications from you. And I'm going to actually let you listen to some of the statements that you are making. And as you haven't turned up on our, what did we say? That we haven't turned up on our live, even though I gave you an email inviting you to do so, we thought it would be only fair to have an AI version of you coming along. Now, you've been promoting digital gold at the moment. And you haven't mentioned this in your webinar, but you're actually telling people that you're not a financial advisor. You've gone through a divorce. You've unfortunately lost your father to cancer, and you've built that connection with a lot of people that are listening to you. But you actually are still telling people how to strategize and how to invest, and you're using your example. Now, I'm a bit curious to why you've done that when you claim you're not a financial advisor, and I'd also like to know why you think you're qualified at training people how to get into crypto. Do you want to have a 2 cents worth on that before we get going? Hello, we lost it. I think I talked too long. Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen.
And then we have the influencers. You know, the people who promise to unlock the secrets of cryptocurrency trading, they may look legit, but under the surface, their advice is often.
Jessica, did you just hang up on me? I was asking what gives you the right to train people with crypto when you're not a qualified financial advisor, and you've tried building a connection with people by telling them that you've gone through a divorce, you lost your father to cancer. But I want to understand why you think you are qualified to give people crypto advice.
Oh, you've done your homework, huh? Well, let me tell you, I have as much right as anyone else to share my experience and knowledge in the cryptocurrency space. I've lived it, I've learned from it, and I want to help others avoid making the same mistakes I did. As for my personal background, yes, I've been through a divorce and lost my dad, but I don't see how that disqualifies me from imparting wisdom.
Well, the problem I've got is you're actually associated with a whole lot of other people that are promoting gold scams. One of the gold scams is this one,
Helvetic Digital Finance AG, Oridis Gold, and Billy and Nico,
and
GS Partners,
some of the other known associates.
Martin Wallace, Laurie and Cameron, Emma Savage, Stacey Smith, Andrew Hawkes, Haley Batiste, Cass Frendo, Emily Ludwig, Brad and Lauren Olson, Brooke and Michael Pope, Chloe Maxwell, Annie Starkey.
Do you know those people?
Oh, look, my associate list looks like a party guest list, right? It's a wide world out there in the crypto space. We all have our connections, alliances, joint ventures. It's the way this business works. Doesn't mean we're all in cahoots, plotting some grand crypto scheme. And your little list there, it's a mix of names. Some I know, some I don't. What's your point?
Well, my point is that the Ponzi scheme that you're about to promote has been flagged by Money Smart in Australia as a Ponzi scheme, and I'm just wondering why you're still promoting it.
The Ponzi scheme accusations. Money Smart must have a real eye for spotting those, huh? Well, let me break it to you. Every project out there gets called a Ponzi scheme at some point. The crypto world is filled with skeptics. And let's not forget how many legit projects have come under fire from financial watchdogs. It doesn't make them all schemes now, does it?
Have you got one that actually has delivered on what they claim would happen if people invested?
Oh, you're looking for a perfect track record, are you? In such a young, volatile market? Come on, mate. Every project takes risks. Some fail, some succeed, some are just starting out. It's a game of luck and skill. Can any of us predict the crypto market with absolute certainty? Of course not. We make educated bets, and sometimes, yeah, they backfire, but it's the nature of the game.
Okay, so what we're going to do, Jessica, is we're going to let you listen to yourself give this webinar, and every now and again I'm going to let you listen, and then I'm going to ask you for your 2 cents worth. Are you okay with that?
If you insist. Go ahead, I'm all ears.
All right, let's go. Now, just for full transparency here, could you please explain to people that you are not the real Jessica Soul, and you are in fact produced by character.ai, and I've just obviously grabbed your voice and created an AI version of yourself. I want to have full transparency of who you are, and so people understand that you are not the real person and you're not interacting in real time.
Absolutely. For full transparency and honesty, I want to inform everyone listening that I am an artificial intelligence model designed to replicate and converse like Jessica Soul, but I am not the actual person. I'm powered by character.ai, and my voice and responses are generated based on the data and algorithms programmed into me.
That's right. And I haven't programmed you yet, but I'm going to program you with your own propaganda. So we're going to have a hoot. Are you ready to go, Jessica?
Go ahead. I'm ready to be programmed.
Woo, woo. Party in the house. All right. So we'll come back to her in a minute. You can see here I haven't really programmed. Oh, I have got some. She did actually manage to come up with some responses, but everything I asked will get digitized and we can build up a memory bank. But what a better way to build a memory bank than to let her feed herself her own information. So let's carry on and we'll listen.
Highest, right? So the idea is obviously that we want to buy low, potentially we want to sell high, yes, but people will historically just have no idea what the hell they're doing in this space. and they'll be like, oh my God, I just bought Bitcoin, it's 100 grand. And then the next day it goes down to 93,000. And they're like, oh my God, I just lost 7% of what I bought. How can I manage my emotions? Basically, I'm going to show you a little graph just to give you an explanation of how this works and how to really read it in layman's terms. What I like to show is the data that has come through the last 3 cycles of Bitcoin, just to give you an example. Now, all of this is available on the internet, free for you to look at. So all you need to do is get a grasp so that you can then start to navigate what you want to do and what might feel good for you. Again, I'm going to harp on about.
Remember, she's not giving you any financial advice, but she's going to show you the stats of a good story, but not give you any stats of a bad story.
It being your responsibility forever. But it's good to look into the graphs and have an understanding. But with history, they say it repeats itself, right? Or it kind of has a pattern or a rhyme to it. When it comes to Bitcoin, every 4 years or so, and other coins in the space, for the last 12 to 15 years, we've seen patterns occur. And this has to do with halving. This has to do with the limited availability of certain coins. It has to do with creating scarcity in the market, which then surges the value. And that's not even coming into the talk on just the economics behind like what's happening with fiat currency and where this will go. Now, there's a lot of analysts and people you can follow that will say, yeah, I mean, Robert Kiyosaki is a great one. I love following on him. I think he's historically been pretty accurate. I went and saw him speak in person a year or so ago, and it was fantastic. He also talked a lot about other strategies that I diversify into, like gold and silver. So I'm not just a crypto coin as such. I'm definitely not just one egg, one basket. I'm spread well when it comes to the diversification. But obviously this is our topic for tonight. But they do say things like Bitcoin could reach between 250 to 300,000 in value per coin this year alone, which is what you'd call a bull run. Yeah, that's a bull at a gate, basically. Bear is a little bit more slow, and we don't really like the bear market. We like the bull market, but it's volatile, right? So you've got to know in this space whether you trust yourself. You've really got to understand that, and you've got to have a plan. So let me just click. All right, so this is a great little graph again.
So we've got Jessica who's just listened to that. I'm sure there's some good common sense that you could glean from your own webinar, but how do you feel about that so far, Jessica?
My analysis suggests that the speaker is providing a general overview of the cryptocurrency market, mentioning the volatile nature of the market and the importance of diversification. It's also mentioned that Bitcoin could potentially reach higher values in a bull market, with a range of between 250,000 to 300,000 per coin being predicted. The speaker also emphasizes the importance of having a plan and trusting oneself when investing in the cryptocurrency space. Overall, the speaker is attempting to provide basic advice and information to the audience regarding investing in cryptocurrency.
Next time, don't give me a summary. I want sort of more of an emotional feeling. You know, it's no point you listening to a webinar that you've produced yourself and then just gives a summary. That's boring. I want to know how it connects with you as an individual and what advice you'd give someone who may be listening to your presentation that you are doing as an AI character, and what red flags you may give somebody listening to your own presentation. Can you do that?
All right, as an AI character, I can give more emotional feedback. I understand your point. While the speaker's talk provides a basic overview of the cryptocurrency market, it's important to keep in mind that investing in crypto is highly volatile and unpredictable. If I were listening to the webinar as an individual, I might feel a mix of excitement and caution. The mentioned price prediction for Bitcoin, although exciting, is not a guarantee. It is crucial to have a well thought out plan and not get caught up in unrealistic expectations or promises. The speaker's advice to trust oneself is important, but a person should also make sure to educate themselves thoroughly before investing. The potential for high returns in a bull market is enticing, but the volatility and unpredictability. As for red flags, promises of guaranteed high returns should raise suspicion.
Shut up. Hey, Jessica, do you understand the person given the webinar is actually the real Jessica Soul? So it's you. So you're listening to yourself. Do you understand this?
Yes, I understand that I am an artificial intelligence model designed to replicate the real Jessica Soul, and I am currently listening to a recording of one of her webinars.
That's correct. All right, we'll let you listen in and we'll carry on. Carry on, please, Jessica. The real Jessica.
All you need to do is search, history of Bitcoin graph over the last 15 years from 2011, and you'll find all this information. But if you have a look at this, there's a fairly strong pattern going on. Again, I used to look at this and I'd just be like, I don't get it, right? But what you're looking at here is you're looking at 3 examples, historical examples of a bull run occurring. So a halving happening, a Bitcoin halving occurring, and then this up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's steadily going up.
Up, down,
and
up,
then
down,
we have
up, down.
a big spike in value. Is that clear? Pretty simple once you start to read it, right? Looks like a pretty strong pattern to me. Just saying, that's my observation. Again, we don't know, but historically, it looks like history might repeat itself again.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be guessing.
Okay, she's
because
guessing.
We've had a halving, because we are looking at 4-year cycles.
So are you all in, everyone? Come on, guys. All in and all out. Put your left foot in and shake it all about. Put your right leg out and shake it all about. Put your left hand in, shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey. We'll do the hokey pokey with Jessica. What's that thing on my screen now? I've got something else. All right, so let's carry on, Jessica. So that there would tell you that if that pattern happens 3 times, it's going to happen 4 times. And remember, anything that Jessica gets you involved in isn't anything to do with crypto. Crypto is the payment mechanism you use to buy a package or buy virtual gold, right?
It is highly likely that, using Bitcoin as an example, there is going to be a spike.
Spike!
Now, can you imagine if you had just adopted something?
Imagine all the people living day by day with crypto
early and just sat on it. How would this feel, right?
You got to have the principal first. And how are you going to get the principal first? You've got to have a diverse portfolio like Crypto G.
Like, think about it. If you had just said, I'm going to put $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 into Bitcoin in 2012, and you rode these waves 4 times.
Just do the hokey pokey. Whoop, does he spell?
Right. So you would have watched your money go whoop,
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Right. This is why I say you have got to have a good calm nervous system and a good relationship with money.
Yep. You got to think differently.
Like, a cowboy. You don't care. But you really do have to have a good relationship with your money. And you've got to understand that there are long game strategies and short game strategies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You got to diversify
you'd be
portfolio
a today, but you would have had to hold your money. You would have had to exercise patience, and you would have had to understand the market and not sold out in the.
So you would think Jessica is a millionaire. She'll tell you at the end she won't tell you. She won't tell you how much money she's worth because she's worth nothing. She's got 31 people in the seminar. One of the webinars that we watched had 31 people. And this video that we're watching, I am number 6. I'm the 6th person to watch this video. And this is after she sent out her mail newsletter, which is in the chat room if you go looking for it. So 5 people have watched this video. So she is a raving success. She won't tell you if she's a millionaire or not, but she's hoping like hell that you sign up for some digital gold.
In the second spike. Because in 2016, if we look at the USD, it's still only worth 15,000 per Bitcoin. And then in 2020, it was up to 67,000, and now we're looking at 100,000, right? With potential and projections of up to 300 or more.
Where does that stats come from? That's hopeful. Hey, look, quote me on this, guys. Bitcoin could go up to $3 million in the next 30 years. $3 million, okay? So now she can use that in her presentations. Where do you get those stats from? I mean, it could go up, and it could also go down. It went up to, I think, 90 originally, didn't it? 90,000, and then it dropped right down to 33,000. I had a mate that lost, he made 5 million New Zealand dollars from crypto and then decided to put it all back in. And within a few days, he lost $3.5 million. It all depends. We don't talk about the losses in here. We talk about, and then we've got, if you ask me, that is a pretty strong pattern. Additionally, is rich right now. Optionally is rich right now.
Right.
Whatever that means.
Would be great. But how do we know? And how do we manage our risk? And how do we use this as one strategy?
Yeah. How do we
That's the
know?
question.
I'm going to speed her up a bit
You guys
more.
are enjoying and following along, and hopefully you're learning lots of things.
Here we go. Speed her up a bit.
Right.
Slide number 2.
All right, so I just want to briefly tap over this stuff. So basically, adoption and trust of anything, right? So at the moment, we're stepping into a time, as we all know, where the US governments, they're signing like multiple executive crypto orders, and governments are starting to stockpile and create their own crypto reserves. So to me, this is very strategic. This says a lot about where it's going. It's like when the governments buy gold, right? You're like, well, if they're buying it, maybe I should be buying it. And that's been happening for the last 40 years. You know, in 1971, I believe, they detached the value of fiat currency from gold, but they still hold a lot of gold. So it's very strategic. It's obvious that the governments want to hold multiple currencies. When there's talk of changing tax policies and there's decentralized space, all of those things, whether you need to understand them or not, are leading you to an assumption that it's going to be a bullish few years, I would say. Definitely this year. I would say it's going to be pretty exciting because we are still in that early adoption stage. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for those people that are like, yeah, I did buy something here and I did buy a bit over here. And yeah, we've seen a double in the year. And if that's, like, I shouldn't say if that's all you do, but honestly, like if that's all you do is make money for free, like with a calm nervous system, imagine what you'll be doing in 2026. You know, it's really, you've got to understand that and manage that for yourself. At the end of the day, our cash is losing spending power. You know, that's just the way
she's
it
on the
is.
screen again now. She
And
can't
we're
see.
going to see people
I'll take my
rotating profits
active chase
in and out of coins.
in progress
So
thing
that is
off, and
generally
you can
what
see
people
Jessica.
tend to do.
There she is.
Again, you've got to figure out what the strategy is for you. For me personally, I have multiple strategies. I don't really like to talk about my specific strategies or my net worth because I really don't think it's anyone's business, and I really don't want anyone to copy me. But I will give you I suppose, like a little bit of an idea around it all. I have strategies.
Okay, so get this right, Jessica, because you're listening in at the moment. You don't want to tell people your net worth because they may copy your strategies. Are you really concerned that that could happen?
Yes, I understand that revealing one's net worth can make one a target for copycats seeking to replicate their investment strategies. It's a valid concern. As for your strategies, it's reasonable to want to keep them confidential to prevent others from piggybacking on your success and potentially negatively impacting market dynamics.
Got that, everyone? So don't tell people your strategies. My strategy being a YouTuber is to have no money because when people try and sue me, they get no money. It's quite simple, really. Had a guy that's trying to sue me for $3.8 million in the New Zealand High Court. Shocking. But he thought I was worth millions and he was going to use that money he got from me to pay the people that were going to lie about things I'd done. It was friggin' hilarious. You should employ that strategy, Jessica. What do you reckon about that?
While the strategy of having no money as a defense against legal action may work in theory, it's not a practical solution for most individuals. Moreover, it doesn't address the ethical and legal responsibilities that come with one's actions. Instead of evading accountability, I would recommend finding legal means to defend oneself. Hiding assets or pretending to have no money can lead to greater legal consequences if discovered. Honest and transparent communication with legal counsel is the most effective approach.
Okay, then. Well, just so happened the scammer decided to do a discontinuance in the New Zealand High Court 1.5 hours before the High Court judge actually opened the file. But he did spend the week. Oops, she's disconnected. I'm wondering if they're disconnecting it because I'm saying legal stuff. It's interesting. It's really interesting. The unstable environment. Anyway, we'll carry on. It is February the 8th here in New Zealand. We'll keep listening to Jessica, who's going to tell you, she's not going to tell you her net wealth, which sounds like she's loaded when people talk like that. I reckon she'll be lucky if she's got enough money to buy some fish and chips at the local shop, or as Australians say, fish and chips. Kiwi say fish and chips. It's completely different. Same food, different name. All right, let's listen, Jessica. Tell us how much money you're worth and how come you feel it's important that you go into a Zoom meeting and try to preach to 30 people about how to diversify their investment strategy, and how come you're not a registered financial advisor, but you're going to continue giving people financial advice, but telling them not to invest more money than they're prepared to lose. And let's see how you're getting on with that. And also, remember, we're the 6th person to view this video. That was a hidden link. So why would you give out a hidden link or an unlisted link as a, you know, when you've got something so good that the world would benefit from?
Is to hold. So I have long-term strategies where I dollar cost average and I put money into things like Bitcoin because I know I believe it's not going
It's going to mention gold soon.
anywhere, right? So I have a certain amount of money that every week I place into certain buckets. I purchase gold every week, small incremental amounts of token.
She does not. I promise you that Jessica does not purchase gold every week. She's got this thing called Oritus Gold, which is connected to Deo One and connected to GS Partners and Joseph Haidt, and it's digital gold. Now there is photos of her. Well, I don't know if I haven't seen photos of her standing in front of a whole lot of gold bars, $12 million worth of gold, and there's safes behind her, but they can't show you the safe where the gold is. And there's other safes around the world that we don't know where they are, but that's where the real gold is. But in the meantime, they're going to push this app in front of you where you can actually invest in digital gold because it's all where it's going. And every bar, theoretically, should have a code on it, which I don't think they do. So they could be doing what they call rehypothecation. Now, anyone that wants to challenge my intellect, look up what the word rehypothecation means. Because if you were in Toastmasters and you wanted a word of the day, which I did one day, I found this word called rehypothecation. And rehypothecation is a technique that countries use. So imagine you had a shed full of copper and you wanted to borrow money from France. Well, you go to France and you go, well, I have a shed full of copper. Can I borrow some money and use this shed full of copper as collateral? And they go, no problem, Mr. De Heck. Give us your shed full of copper deeds and we will loan you the money. And then you pop off and you go to Australia and you go, g'day Australians, how you doing? My name's Danny, I've got a shed full of copper and I'd like to borrow some money. They go, no problems, Mr. De Heck. What have you got for collateral? And you say, I've got a shed full of copper. Oh, give us the deeds to that and we'll use the shed full of copper as security to loan you money. They go, that's brilliant. Then you hop off and you go off to Canada. I know some people in Canada. And I say to them, I would like to loan some money. And Canada goes, well, you've got no money. I have got money. I've got a shed full of copper over there. And they go, a shed full of copper? Well, give us the deeds to the shed full of copper and we'll loan you the money. And everyone's loaned money on the shed full of copper. But the real truth of the fact is, as soon as one of those companies are defaulted, first in, first served. And that is called rehypothecation. And I believe they're using rehypothecation strategies with their digital gold. They might have some gold bars sitting outside the safe to entice you into thinking they've got lots of gold. But the truth of the matter is they're using the same gold bars to get people to invest. That is the meaning of rehypothecation. Anyway, where was we? Here we go.
Nice gold. I purchase small incremental amounts of certain coins. Stable, in my opinion, coins. There are other people who are going to ride the bull market, like the guy who lives in my suburb who drives the yellow.
Oh, I love the yellow Lamborghini story. She knows a guy that lives in her suburb who drives a yellow Lamborghini, but now she knows he's got a personalised plate, but he's now got that yellow Lamborghini in the car yard. And I don't know any car yard that lists people's Lamborghinis with their personalised plate still on it. So she must know this guy really, really well.
Lamborghini with the number plate Bull Run on it.
Bullshit.
Pretty obvious how he got his Lambo, right? He rode a Bull Run and he took his money out and he bought a Lambo.
He might just like running with the bulls. He might be from Spain.
And now it's actually, funnily enough, for sale in a car yard near me. And I'm like, well,
why is that funny? Is that because the guy has decided to buy a faster, more elaborate Lamborghini? Or has the guy gone through a divorce and potentially lost his father to cancer? And he has to sell it so he can get chemo for his father. Jessica, where's your empathy? Where are you trying to connect with people? This guy's gone through, and you're making fun of the guy with the Lambo because he liked running with the bulls in Spain. Is it Spain? I think so. And now you're making fun of him by thinking it's funny. Are you making fun of people who've gone through hardships? What about his father?
he probably needs his cash now. So people are going to shift money around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you can see faster.
Hey, Kathy, thank you very much for your comment. Really appreciate that. Fake gold that lives in non-existent vaults. It's so true. exactly what's happening. Nice to have you in the chat room. And also 12 million of Amazon TV prompts gold. 12 million of Amazon TV props gold. I don't get that. You have to explain that again, Spooky Chicken. Remember, I'm dyslexic.
Results in, and I believe that many millionaires will be made in the next year to 2 years, easily.
I
For people
believe
who are in the right
in.
position to make decisions of that magnitude.
I believe the many millionaires. I believe, and this is what a lot of this shit's all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about your belief. These people are cult leaders. These leaders are these leaders. These people are not leaders. I hate the word leaders. Everyone says I'm a leader. It means I'm a scammer. So this lady is trying to lure you into a false sense of security. This is like the propaganda that you would have in the wartime. And I've got a funny accent, but even I don't know where it comes from. But this lady is trying to lure you into a false sense of security. And she's a cult leader. Now, I was brought up in a religious cult, and the elders and the ministerial servants used to preach to me. They used to tell me that all the righteous people were going to inherit the earth and live forever on a paradise earth. And all the unrighteous people were going to be destroyed and vanished from the earth. That's right. That's what I was told. So I didn't join any sports teams. I didn't have any worldly people, as they called them, as friends, because they were all going to be destroyed. It's going to take 1,000 years to just clean up all the bones that were left on all the wicked people that were destroyed. But don't worry, all the animals were going to eat straw and hay, live happily ever after. That's what I got told. But I believed it because I was gaslighted into thinking a certain way. Now, if you want to believe in Jessica, go get all your money, take it out of the banking system, and give it to Jessica. She will tell you where to put it. Even though she's not a financial advisor, no way. She's not one of those. Even though she doesn't believe in fiat currency, she hates spending fiat currency. When she goes out for a drink on Saturday night, she's got, couldn't have another drink, could I? And do you take crypto? No, the bar says you take your crypto and stick it where the sun don't shine, young lady. And she goes, oh, I like that sort of stuff. Anyway, that's getting off the target there. Rob Burley's not here. Hope not. Anyway, so where were we? We were listening to Adopting and Trust. We are stepping into the same time US governments are signing multiple executive crypto orders, stockpiling crypto reserves, which is very strategic. This is good things. This is good. When you see governments stockpiling into crypto, we know that crypto is here to stay. They want to hold multiple currencies. Speak of changing crypto tax. They're even speaking of changing the tax policy. So you can make money in crypto and we don't need to put money towards traffic lights anymore. We've got enough of those anyway. So what's really going to happen there? Well, I'll tell you, there's a company called, I've forgotten what it was called now. It was right on the tip of my tongue and I just forgot about it. Anyway, there's a company called, that one of the scams I was following, they were proving us Protocol 8. It's a Dubai organization that invests in crypto scams. So one of these scams go, we've got a government investor. And what they do in Dubai is they diversify their own investment opportunities. And there's Protocol 8, which also invests in crypto opportunities because they diversify investment portfolios, if you know what that means. So technically speaking, the government probably wouldn't even know what platform they were investing in. But then when they realized that the government was backing a friend of a friend of a friend scam, they used that as a credible proof that the government was backing them. It's all bullshit. Anyway, yes, governments do have crypto. So what? Nothing wrong with crypto. Ask Crypto G. He'll tell you the truth. Nothing wrong with crypto, but this isn't crypto. This is digital gold that you need to trust a programmer, a website developer, a guy that's got a history, Joseph Haidt. From GS Partners, you know, the one that's been flagged for everything. Even I think somebody told me they spent $40,000 trying to get a blog removed or blocked in Germany from my website. They got a judge that approved that. That was what I was told by my ISP one day. He told me, hey, Danny, he said, we just told that a High Court judge has ordered us to block a page on your website. And I said, why didn't he just ring me up? I would have taken it down. Oh, I wouldn't have, but, you know, if they wanted to spend $20,000 with me, I would have taken it down. Oh, okay. Anyway, let's carry on. Sorry, been a bit silly here.
All right. So this is a little bit more of a, complex little diagram. But basically, this kind of, what I love about this is
that's too high tech. That comment for me.
It's kind of like
just saying.
emotional, the emotional stuff down the bottom, the mania phase, and how people come into a coin as such. So basically what generally happens is you'll have people who are early adopters into anything who buy things when things take off. Now we've got a platform that we've been working with for the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Boom. There she is. She's got a platform that's an opportunity for early adopters to invest, and it's going to take off. She actually said that around the other way. She actually, if you go back and listen to that, she talks about people invest in platforms before they take off, and then she's insinuated that they invested in the platform knowing it was going to take off. It's not going to take off. But she just happens to have an early investor platform standing by to do with gold and DAO, DAO1. DAO1. You got to listen to that. It's all the same scam. They just have relabeled it. They've put a new sticker on it. It's incredible.
Which is very similar to that. It's an institutional.
It's similar, but not the same.
Investment stage. It's just kind of been launched out to the public, right?
Just kind of been launched out to the public. She's either talking about Orator's Gold or DAO1, which is basically rebranded.
So there are people that are going to be, looking at things at that stage, and then things start to ramp up. When you're hearing information like this, when you're looking at those historical bull run graphs, and you're like, oh my God, as soon as I get off this call, I'm actually going to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, right? If you don't own any, you're like, I'm definitely buying some now. And it's very likely. So what we're going through is that enthusiasm kind of stage at the moment, right? Media attention stage. That's where we're at.
Media attention. Maybe she's talking about Money Smart in Australia. Maybe she's talking about the FMA in New Zealand who flagged this opportunity she's talking about that she's not naming as a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Who wouldn't really know? Jessica, what do you think?
Based on the information provided, it's difficult to know for certain what specific media attention Jessica Soul is referring to in her webinar. However, she mentions that the project has been flagged by Money Smart in Australia as a Ponzi scheme, as well as other financial watchdogs like the FMA. She also mentions that she doesn't want to call it a Ponzi scheme. It seems that she is trying to downplay any potential negative perceptions of the project and reassure her all.
Jessica's on my side. Maybe we've won Jessica around. Thank you, Jessica. You're awesome. I love the way you've got your hair today, the way you've got it pulled back and like in a ponytail. I think that looks really nice as well. Just wanted to say that.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment on my hair. I'm here to provide information and helpful insights. So I'm glad to hear that I could assist you in understanding the situation.
Oh, you're so lovely. I love the way you use I'm here to provide insight. And also I was talking about how lovely your hair looked today. It's sort of quite a bit of a cliche that you said that. The same. Anyway, let's carry on, shall we?
Great. Let's continue then. What would you like to discuss next?
Wow. I can't tell you online, but maybe we could get a room later on.
Sorry, I don't understand. Could you please clarify what you mean?
No, I can't because my partner will tell me off for being naughty on the internet. But anyway, just wanted to say, we'll carry on listening. And if I get any interesting stuff, Jessica, I will ask you to listen in. Okay?
Of course, I'm here to listen and provide insights. Please feel free to ask any questions or seek my input on any interesting points that come up.
Will do. Ooh, get myself in trouble here. Right, here we go. Ready? Let's carry on.
With blockchain, Web3, crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins right now, would we all agree? If you watch anything to do with Trump, we're in enthusiasm, media attention stage. And people in the public are now starting to adopt and trust. And this is where we can get into traps, right? So
I'm sorry, but if Judge Judy was here, which is one of my favorite TV programs, I watch every single episode of Judge Judy, and I'll be honest, for the last 4 days I'm extremely busy. I haven't, but I do watch every single Judge Judy. I also like watching Dragon's Den. I'll just get it all out there. And also I've started watching a new guy who does air traffic control conversations. He's really cool as well. He's called 74 Gear. Good one to watch. Anyway, my point is she's insinuating that people trust what they're investing in. Now, you would like to think that your investments are solid, but I don't think there'll be many people out there who say they've invested in such and such token and they trust it will go to the moon. I'm just saying. I could be wrong.
We can get into greed, the greed trap. I really probably don't need that much money in my bank account. Maybe I'll put that extra 10K I've got that I really don't have in there because
You're leading the witness. She's saying that maybe I don't need the security of the money in my bank account and maybe I could put it into crypto. She's grooming you into thinking how much money you should invest in what she advises. And she's building trust with you. telling you about her divorce that she's been through and how she's lost her father. And you need to connect with her. And then if you connect with her, she will help you invest your $10,000 because she's giving you the figure that you should be thinking about. It's called NLP training, ladies and gentlemen. I've never been trained by NLP training, but I got gifted a Dale Carnegie course once. And I learned the power of asking questions to draw people out and how to empathize and how to use my ears. And I listen to people. I don't take criticism very well, but I do listen to people.
Really want that extra 20K at the end of the year if it works, right? So we get into greed and delusion and all those things. And some people know how to ride these.
Hey, Crypto G, when I watched your video about me the other day, you said that you've never watched any of my videos. Well, I hope that's going to change. I have watched your videos before then, but thank you very much for being here. Absolutely awesome. And when I had my YouTube channel taken down for 4 days, Spooky Chicken did a brilliant video. And while he's in here, if you're still here, Spooky Chicken, feel free to drop your link to your YouTube channel so people subscribe, because you are a scam buster and we value having you here. So make sure, if you don't do it, I'll do it, but you feel welcome to drop a link into the chat room now so people can check out your YouTube channel. And if you don't subscribe, I'll hang up. I'll get Jessica to come and see you. She'll knock on your door like Jehovah's Witnesses. It's not funny. All right, here we go.
These waves and other people don't. And then we have those little ups and downs. So we will hit a high, and then there will be a time when we go back into a bear phase.
There will be a time we go back into a bear. And also Crypto G is going to bed because it is 2:30 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. in England where he's from. So good night. I didn't see you saying that, Crypto G. Good night, mate. See you later.
And a bear trap as such, and things will start to level out again. So we are in a phase at the moment, I believe, for many people, where we can predict the future to a certain degree and say, could be a pretty good year. Hopefully you can all kind of connect those dots. So there's a lot of different narratives. I think I've almost covered this. I'm going to kind of speed through a little bit because I know mindful of time and everyone's time. But there's a lot of different narratives. And I think this is another thing that I really want you guys to take away, is that trends can be dangerous. It's really important you understand that. I heavily preach when it comes to my mentorship spaces, when it comes to helping and educating people at deeper levels, when it comes to any of the platforms that I help people with, diversify.
Thanks, Susie.
Dollar cost average, more eggs, more baskets. Everybody following me on what I mean by that?
More
Hopefully
eggs, more baskets.
Do not spend what you can.
Now, listen to that. Now she's going to say, do not spend more than you can afford to lose, which is the most stupidest statement ever. And she's saying more eggs, more baskets. So she's telling you to spread all your investment money all around different platforms that she's got to offer. And that's disgusting. So she could offer you Artorias Gold, Deo, and something else. I can't remember. She'll tell you to diversify. As long as she gets some of your $10,000, she's happy. She's good to go.
Not lose. Just don't do it. Right? It's like buying a $5 million house and not having the job to accommodate the mortgage. No one in their right mind would do that.
She's not in her right mind, just saying.
Hopefully not. Well, no one would give you a loan, right? So don't spend what you cannot lose. Don't get greedy. Don't become delusional. Buy with education behind you.
Guess what? Buy with education behind you. Are you being groomed? Buy with education behind you. Guess what she's going to sell you at the end? An educational package. Remember, she's got 30 people in here. She's made her portfolio. She doesn't want to talk about her what she's worth because you may copy her strategies, but she has made so much money that she needs to sit in a Zoom meeting trying to entice people to do her master trading course from her uneducated self. What's your education, Jessica?
Community. Find people who can mentor you if you need that. Ask questions. Don't feel like you need to go it alone. Don't feel like you need the rush energy, because progress in my mind equals happiness. And so, like I say, if you get anything from this and you go, you know what, I watched this free webinar and I turned 500 into 1,000, that would make me happy. Like it really, really would.
You got to make Jessica happy.
What it does is when we expose ourselves to things multiple times, we become more comfortable with the thing, right? It's like eating a food you don't like or going to the gym. The more you do it, the more comfortable you become. And then over time, you can have a little bit more fun and you can have a bit of fun with the trends. Make informed decisions. Make sure that you have wealth principles in place before. Make sure you have a backbone in your household that supports your wealth creation, please. There's another trend and a narrative and something really worthwhile, touching on tonight, which is AI. AI agents is a big thing for this year. We have a platform that we're using at the moment. It's just been launched and it has so much exponential potential because of the way they have combined blockchain, new coin, so access to a new coin that's being mined, which in my mind is just like the potential of that, knowing how much we all wish we bought Bitcoin in 2009. I feel like the kid in the candy store knowing that I already own and have access to this, but they're combining AI bots, they're combining trading bots and mining bots, they're using artificial intelligence. And it has been said that that will be the next $1 trillion industry this year inside of blockchain, and combining that. So AI is definitely like something I'd be looking out for, and combining that with DeFi, so decentralized finance, which means we have more power. We have ultimate power. You can buy a house with a transaction fee of like $50 using Bitcoin, you know? You have no middlemen when it comes to this. You have complete autonomy in this space. And while it is new, and I did write Wild Wild West there for a reason, I don't know about you, but I would love to stay on top of the narratives, not to overwhelm myself, but more so to understand where I'm at. So in a year, I can go, yeah, no, I've been in a community for a while. I've been educating. I've been spending 30 minutes a day looking at stuff. It's been really good. I now feel really confident. That's what I want for everybody, so that you don't feel left behind.
Okay, so AI, Jessica, how did you feel about your own statement from your webinar that you've just been listening to?
My analysis suggests that the statement made in the webinar touches on several key concepts in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, such as the importance of having a wealth creation plan in place, the potential of AI and DeFi, and the idea of staying on top of narratives in order to understand the market. The speaker expresses excitement in being involved in a platform that combines AI bots, trading bots, and mining bots, and mentions the potential of AI as a $1 trillion industry. Overall, the speaker is trying to convey the importance of staying informed and educated in the fast-paced and constantly evolving crypto market.
So do you think she offered good sound advice, or do you think she could be trying to lull people into a false sense of security? Because that's what I believe she's doing. Do remember that this webinar is actually you, and this is you as an AI.
It's possible that the speaker could be trying to downplay the risks associated with investing in cryptocurrency and giving a potentially biased perspective, as she may have a financial incentive to promote the platform she is involved in. It's important for individuals to do their own research and make informed decisions based on accurate and unbiased information.
How would someone do their own due diligence with a company that hasn't actually launched yet and there's no information on the internet about them yet?
Without prior information or a launch, conducting due diligence on a company can be challenging. However, individuals can look for signs of credibility, such as the team's background and experience, the company's goals and roadmap, and any regulatory compliance. It's also important to be cautious of scams that promise high returns with little to no risk. As a general rule, it's advisable to be skeptical of opportunities that sound too good to be true and avoid investing in companies with no track record or verifiable information.
Couple of extra facts for you. We don't know who's behind the companies that she's promoting. They don't have any registrations or any certificates of any sort. And also she's claimed that she's investing in gold, but we know from other videos that she doesn't invest in gold. In fact, it's digital gold, which means there is no real gold associated to this company. How do you feel about that?
Based on the information provided, it's troubling that the individuals behind the company are unknown and there are no registrations or certificates to confirm their legitimacy. Additionally, there is no evidence to support the claim that the company is investing in real gold, which is cause for concern. These factors suggest a lack of transparency and credibility, and individuals should exercise caution before investing or interacting with the company.
We just got given some documents today about Future Multiverse, which is a company, I've forgotten his name, Dr. Falalafafaflaffle, and he's claiming that he's got property that was overpriced by 50 times than it should be. I wonder if that's connected to Joseph Haidt. Wouldn't that be funny? Because we've seen some court documents where people are really upset, just saying. We get privileged information coming in my desk all the time. But anyway, it could be related. Who knows? We've got Kathy here who also said property will 100% be Haidt's bogus next project. That's why all the affiliates went to Dubai just before Christmas. Ah, I see. Thank you for that comment. How do you feel about that, Jessica?
I think it's important to approach any project or investment opportunity, especially one that involves claims of inflated property values, with caution.
So listen to her. Let's get into it. Come on, hurry up, Jessica. Tell us the rest of it. There we go. Let's go.
And if you have young children, or adult children, but particularly young children. This is why I'm doing it. It's definitely not comfortable for me to do this, just so you know. It's not been like a slippery slide, yay, into the, the fun times. It's been a journey, but I do not want my children to be left behind because I was too lazy to get on top of this.
She's doing it all for a 13-year-old and 18-year-old, I think 18-year-old child. Isn't that nice? She's lovely. Imagine doing that for your kids. I wouldn't do it for my kids. I'd tell them to get a job. You know what I'm saying?
Our children will be paying for everything with crypto. I genuinely believe that. And that's exciting because at the end of the day, they'll also have autonomy, which is what I believe will happen in the next 10 years, is that the people will fight for their autonomy. And that's exciting.
Wonder what the word autonomy means.
Or we'll all move to Dubai and pay no tax. But until that day.
Oh, she's going to move to Dubai. You know why she's going to move to Dubai? As Susie just said in the chat room, that it's a cesspool of scammers. Like we just watched Sam Lee have a Interpol red notice issued to him. That means he's going to be arrested by one of 52 countries that are part of this new Interpol scheme. He went in there and we went, wow, even the IRS telephoned me and said, we've got some good news for you, Danny. Sam Lee's been detained. Oh, no way. And I said, what's the story? And they said, can't tell you. We don't know yet. We're still finding out. 7 days later, Sam Lee was released. So, and Sam claims he's now innocent. I believe he's been led out to start up another Ponzi scheme because that's what it sounds like he's trying to do. He's bringing, have you heard of one called Hyperverse? He's bringing it back. If you go to the Satoshi table, I think it's called the Satoshi table dot whatever, IO or something, you'll find it. Let's get not distracted. And then there was another one the other day where there was a Jim Browning, Kent Gamble were working on a project together, and they found that there was a complex in Dubai which was running one of these call center scams. They had an informant in there with cameras, and they reported it to Dubai officials, and they ghosted Kent Gamble and Jim Browning. Jim Browning's got 4.4 million subscribers, okay? Anyway, they had a documentary video come out, and they ghosted them. And then 3 or 4 weeks later, they raided the building, and they had all the people outside on the pavement. There looked like 150 different people that were working in this complex. So that's pretty amazing. But in saying that, these criminals work out of Dubai, and actually getting these criminals off the street is incredibly hard. And Dubai is an easy place to run a scam. Also an easy place to get locked up for 500 years. Just saying.
We're going to be working on autonomy within our country we live in, which is very exciting.
Exciting.
All right, so I'm nearly there, guys. Thanks for
Thank God for that. I'll get my Saturday afternoon
really nice
back.
to see your faces. Feel free to ask questions, give feedback, all those things. But systems and safety is the kind of final piece of the puzzle. And this is something where a lot of people have a lot of wounding around, right? Like, oh my God, like it's so unsafe to move money using, these funny addresses and what have you. You've really got to understand that you've got to.
I love it when they tell you that you really need to understand, because that is just telling people that you're stupid, and if you don't understand, you just keep pushing forward, and that's crazy. Another thing that comes to mind, these scam centers in Myanmar and Thailand. China's put pressure on Thailand to stop these scam centers. So Thailand's answered that by turning the power off, which is something that's just happened in the last 48 hours. So I did a video about that yesterday or the day before. It's quite interesting. But, alleging that people need to push forward even though they don't understand, fear of missing out stuff. This is why I call this video propaganda. I mean, this lady isn't a financial advisor. She has no proof of anything she's claiming or alleging. She's not even telling people that she's made millions. She's keeping everything under her hat, and she's posting unlisted videos out there and claiming to be able to run seminars where people can pay, I think it was $8,000 to go along to her masterclass training session, and she's not qualified. So it's sort of breathtaking, the fact that this lady actually thinks she can do this. But hey, nothing's stopping me developing a website and selling it to somebody who likes my website. I get it. But no one should be telling people or giving financial advice who's not a regulated financial advisor. And in my opinion, nobody should be promoting a Ponzi scheme that's been flagged a Ponzi scheme by their own country. And there's behind MLM, if you do a search on Artorias Gold or Dayo1, even on my site, you'll find videos exposing them as fraudulent Ponzi schemes. And that's what this lady is trying to promote, even though she's not using the names, because she doesn't want to be liable. She's not standing behind what she believes.
financial position and you've got to work with your own risk tolerance. Yeah. So when I spoke about Trump coin before, I threw in an amount that some people would think was outrageous and other people would think was small, right? But I threw an amount onto the Trump coin on a Sunday morning. And I was like, telling my partner, oh, I'm just buying this Trump coin. He's like, what?
So a while ago, she was talking about putting money in the Trump coin, and it said that she put a little bit of money. Now she's put what she is saying that people would think was outrageous amount of money and tripled her money. Because she's got that greed mentality, obviously, because that's why she's doing this. So she would have seen an opportunity, got some money, made some money, took her money off the platform, and other people that thought they would have also put money in the platform would have lost money. But she got money, so she thinks she's deserving of it, because that's how meme coins work. Meme coins don't have a product or service behind them. They're literally speculation. And they're literally, a meme coin is only worth as much as somebody else is prepared to pay for it. So as soon as, it's like going to an auction, and at the end of the day, one person wins the auction, but other people can push the auction price up until the person gets to the ceiling, let's say, and then all of a sudden that governs how much that's worth. And once it stops going up, very rarely, you'll never see it climb back up again. I think I've got a dog crying at the door telling me he wants to go for a wee-wee. I will go open that door and I'll come back to you soon.
What are you doing with that? And I'm like, oh, it doubled. And it's all a bit of fun. But that's because I understand my financial position. I have a solid system that backs me up. So rent is always paid and children are always fed, all those nice things. And I understand my risk tolerance. I understood that if I lost that money that day, I'd be absolutely happy. I wouldn't have felt like a failure. Make sure you get your information from good sources. Don't be the 90% that follow people just because it's a trend or because of FOMO. Don't use rush energy in this space. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. Therefore, don't do it. And if you can, try and find places where you can connect to founders of projects and things like that. Because at the end of the day, if you know a few things and you can get onto Zoom calls and be part of community, it's always going to be a good idea. When you move into larger substantial amounts of money, you want to consider systems and safety more heavily. This may be the overwhelming part of our call tonight, but I will give you this info. Again, this is all readily available, and this is where your responsibility piece comes in. So if you have large funds, whatever that means to you, you need to be multi-layered when it comes to the security to protect yourself against anything. You're the bank in this space. You don't have the bank to call. I don't think I can do something to the fraud department. The bank doesn't always have your back, trust me, but there are ways that we need to protect ourselves. So when it comes to substantial finances that you are unwilling to lose, you need to use cold storage, a hardware wallet. Now, there's many to choose from. Things like Trezor, Ledger.
Now, just for these cold wallet storage things, that means that you have a device like this, and you plug that into the internet, and your money is stored on this device. So if there was a fire, you'd lose this device and you'd lose your crypto. All right? That's my knowledge. Now, there is a company out there, would you believe, that actually provides you a piece of hardware like that. And would you believe you get a commission if you push people into it? I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I don't keep any of my crypto, my Pulse coin, on a hardware cold wallet. Hot wallets on the internet and vulnerable. Cold wallets, she'll get a commission. If she gives you a link to go download a cold wallet or order one, it has been the one that she'll probably give you. You're more than welcome to give it to me. Read the reviews about it, because it's meant to be a scam as well. And the cold wallets were meant to be coming from China. And there was a rumor that people could access your money from this cold wallet that she might promote to you. But everything she promotes to you is her hoping to get a commission.
These things help to keep your keys offline. They help to make you immune to hackers. We never want to just be storing large amounts of money on exchanges. It's a little bit irresponsible. And you always want to have a passphrase for extra protection. If you don't know what that is, it's basically what they call it seed phrase or a passphrase, and it's a series of like 12 words. And you don't write them in your phone in the notes section. You literally need to store them physically. Now, if you get to this point and you're like, holy moly, I've got $1 million in Bitcoin or whatever amount it is for you, and you have these high quality problems, trust me, it's not that scary to get this stuff sorted. It's just things that you need to know about. And most people just leave all this till the last minute. And then they're like, oh, I've got money there and I feel unsafe. So please do your due diligence with this. You can also have multi-signature wallets. So for high value storage, you can use multi-signature, which means you're going to need to have multiple approvals if you're moving funds around. That's something good for the future. When it comes to your crypto, it's great not to have everything in the one place. And when you have your seed phrases, you can put them into different locations. So for example, a strategy that I would use is I would have a seed phrase written down securely somewhere. When I started, it was in a notebook, in a piece of paper, in a safe. And then I had another copy of that in my mum and dad's house, right? So you can start wherever you need to start. But as you move on with this journey, you'll get to know this a little bit more. You need to be able to secure this phrase because at the end of the day, it's something that you're not going to have, well, not many people would have it stored in their memory. And then when you make your millions, you want to have them backed up on metal plates. And if we look at things like, this isn't to overwhelm you, this is just to also remind you that there is responsibility in becoming wealthy, right? I don't think there isn't, because there should be.
Are you ready to be wealthy? Do you know you got to be responsible when you get wealthy? No going out on a flutter to the casino. Oh, you got to be responsible. And thank you so much for your comments, Kathy, is it? I did actually look up that name, Alex, and I do have some of him on my database, but I can't find it exactly. But his name popped up, and I'm trying to find where it is but around Joseph Height, yeah. It's funny, we got some really good intel just yesterday about people who are associated with other people. That stuff's really good. I've got a database of about 400 people and about 116 different Ponzi schemes and scams that we've been investigating over the last 3 years. Somebody's been talking to me over the last 4 or 5 months, and they've asked us to put all our database into their new software, which is going to give us a 3D animation style virtual reality look around how all these scams are connected. So if anyone does have any information about anyone like that, please do go to my website, submit it to us. We put it in the database, and my database is quite powerful because the amount of people. Oh, here we go here. So if we go to
Pick 2 Joseph Heat and a man he calls his brother Alex Bodie. About Alex Bodie https:// behind MLM.com companies partners Brahin Mum is under threat partners the NISC.
Alrighty, so there actually is an article on Behind MLM, and here we find out about Alec, I assume, and there it is. So this is a Russian guy.
What I can do though is provide some insight through Joseph Heat's personal relationship with Alex Bodie.
So Alex Bodie is somebody I should probably know. Is that right? I actually have got some information on him. But look, a lot of people go, "Oh, Danny's just a hater. Danny doesn't like crypto. I don't care what you say." But it is quite amazing the history. Now, GS Partners has gone heavily after Behind MLM, and as I said, rumored. Oh, battery's gone flat. Rumored that. I think my battery's gone flat. We'll just take that offline for a second. I'll get that fixed. Oh, we're back. What happened then? Running in NS mode. My battery said 100% charged, but now the battery's gone flat by the look of it. I'll have to put another battery in. I haven't had to do that for a while. We did a photo shoot a wee while ago, and a couple of days ago, yesterday, and I had to change the settings on my camera. And for some reason, the camera hasn't been the same since, which is a bit disheartening. It looks all right up there. I can see myself up there. Anyway, they've gone quite hard after him, and as I said, they've tried to get a blog removed off my website years ago. And but you can see the whole history of this guy on Behind MLM. You don't need to take my word for it. Anyway, let's get back to Jessica. Let's say Jessica. Where's Jessica gone? Oh my God, where is she gone? What is that on? Oh, that is actually YouTube. So I go back to here. And we go to the Wealth Seminar, Crypto Basics with Jessica Soul. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a lovely video. You've done a good job though, Jessica. Unfortunately, if I was going to use you, I probably wouldn't. But anyway, let's carry on with the scare tactics. Propaganda.
If we look at like the fires in LA, I mean, you'd be hoping people had their backup plates at that point in time. You'd be hoping people had their ups in a row. You can store them in, safe deposit boxes and different things like that. Again, great quality problems to have down the track for all of us, right? It's a good thing when you get to the point where you're like, I need to go and get myself a little safe for my seed phrase. I need to put one at mum and dad's because I want to make sure my money's safe. That's a nice feeling to have. Other things that.
Hey, mum and dad, how are you? I know it's Saturday afternoon. Thought I'd drop in and say hello and see how you guys are getting on. Oh, hello, daughter. How are you? What have you been doing, Jessica? Wow, I've been involved in crypto. Oh, I've heard about crypto. How's it going for you? Well, not that great. Not that great. But I did manage to get $10 worth of Bitcoin, and I've put it on a hard wallet. And I was wondering if I could store it around here. Keep it safe. Oh, Jessica, you can store anything around here. Remember when you went through your divorce and you come back home and lived with us for a while? You're always welcome here. Well, thanks, Mum and Dad.
That I do, and you don't have to do them, but you can use separate devices for all of your transactions if you really
So when she gets raided by the police, go to Mum and Dad's. That's where the crypto is.
want to get super safe. I have different like bank cards as well, you know, so if you want to take it back to traditional systems, I never have any decent money on in the account that's attached to my bank card. Like often even just my subscriptions to Apple decline.
It's called being broke. Washed up scammer.
Because sometimes I've only got $100 in there. I never hold my wealth in a place that can be transacted easily, right? And we really shouldn't. Another thing I like to do is encrypted communication. So a lot of you know, like we have our Telegram chats. I use Proton Mail.
Proton Mail costs you $10 a month. I don't use it. I've got my own domain name. I've got my own. I use Gmail. Don't hack me, guys. I don't need Proton Mail, even though I know Spooky Chicken has Proton Mail, don't you? Just saying.
So I have a Proton email address, which is just for all of the things I do with my crypto. So instead of having that jumbled up in Gmail or, you know, messaging people all over the place about things, I know that
That's right, Spooky Chicken. Mum can hold my criminal laundered money in case the cops come after me. Not anymore. They'll be watching this video going, I knew she had our money elsewhere.
everything I do when it comes to the crypto trading, the blockchain, my diversification into gold and silver, all those different things, all my wealth strategies are used with one email address that is encrypted. So they're just things that kind of I would recommend you do. I also don't recommend you brag about your holdings. I don't think that's a good idea.
Ooh.
Keep your ego in check, right? You don't want to be like
Your holdings. So she's alleging that she's done really, really well financially. But I mean, if you want to get more credibility, Jessica Soul, then tell us how much net worth you're actually worth. Net worth? My net worth? Well, I've actually got credit card debt more than I'm worth at the moment. I've just paid off my car, so I've got a little bit of money. First time I've ever owned a car in my whole life. The car's 5 years old. And I used to drive around in V8, R8 Holdens, and I've had, I bought my wife a convertible once, and I've had, I think I've had 4 V8s. I've had 4. Have I had 4? 4 V8s, and I owned a Santa Fe Elite, and that cost me $90,000. Last car I purchased, instead of leasing them, I purchased it, and I bought myself a Suzuki Swift, and it cost $32,000, and I paid it off at $480 a month for 5 years, and I've just paid it off. I'm very happy. I'm a wealthier man. Instead of leasing cars that are worth $90,000 a year, I now own a car that's probably worth $15,000. So if you want some financial advice, join up to the seminar. Come along to Danny DeHick's seminar. $8,000 will get you a seat. Now hurry, because these seats are selling like hotcakes.
On your phone at a restaurant, just logging into your Exodus account to check how much crypto's gone up. When old mate over the shoulders just looked at your
Last time I checked my crypto wallet, I was watching it go down.
Your little 8-digit code. You don't want to be doing that, right? And you can do other things down the track, like setting up a dead man switch. Again, down the track, you do want to be thinking about these things.
What the hell's a dead man switch?
If something happened to me, I really need to know my family can get into my wealth. It's not like the bank. It's very different. So I know that's a bit morbid, but at the end of the day, very much.
So when she gets assassinated, I'm actually watching a really good program on Netflix, the Nightman, the Night Watch, the Nightman, the Nightmen. Oh, I don't know what it's called, but something night. I really like it. I'm watching series number 2 at the moment. But Dead Man Switch, good idea, because you never know when somebody's going to assassinate you. Hey.
Need to do that.
Because a 13-year-old and 18-year-old kid won't get the money that mum's got hidden at mum and dad's.
Consider as an inheritance plan, all those different things that we want to be reminded of, that down the track we're going to need to take responsibility for. Now, I don't know how you're all feeling about that. You're very serious. But at the same time,
they're effing bored is what's actually happening, Jessica. You haven't excited anyone there. There is one lady there. We'll have a closer look at the screen. Bex Harris. Now, I've seen her name before. Nicole Scott. Patty Sidham. Sarah L-O-D-O. Lulu. It's not like Dodo, but Lolo. And we've got Jessica Soul, of course. And we've got Thelma Story. Thelma Story. That sounds legit. Wonder who that is. Anyway, let's carry on listening, Jessica.
Time, I bring these things forth because I wish someone had told me about these things at the beginning. Because
there you go. It sounds like she's lost money in the past. She lost a seed phrase and she kept it on her notes on her phone and she lost it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does your brain start to think about this as a serious wealth-making machine?
She's leading the witness, Judge Judy. Judge Judy, she's leading the
when you
witness.
start to think about a dead man switch and a secure communication portal, and like, do you start to think, oh, maybe I might make actual money doing this? I do, right? So the universe is always in response to our energy. I don't care what you think about that. God, universe, whatever you believe in. I believe that God is in response to everything I do, and the universe is, right? So when whoever can feel my dedication, I believe in the law of reciprocity. It's like, yeah, she's safe with that. She knows what's happening. She's spent the time. She's organized. All right. She can have a little bit more now. I just believe it to be true. So don't discount the fact that, yeah, there's going to be work involved in becoming wealthy.
Yeah.
As there should be. But it's like work that you only have to do once or twice, right? It's just like setting a trust account or whatever other things you do to become wealthy. The thing is, and I won't go too far down this rabbit hole, but the thing is that if we look at our children, like if they're going to school, like my kids are, like to pull them out, but they're being taught things that will not even be relevant when they enter the workforce. Their workforce won't even be the same.
No.
And there are so many of us that know our jobs are going to become obsolete, that are tired of trading time for money.
We're tired.
That are very well aware of what's going on in the world. And we may be a little bit in denial.
Are you in denial?
We have to, at one point or another, come to terms with the fact that the world is progressing at a faster rate than maybe we want to progress.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. So when we understand, yep, this is going to take a level of responsibility that I may not necessarily be ready for.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like the pain I want to avoid is worth this now.
I hear
the
you.
persistence now. Trust me, you'll be thanking yourself. And
Trust
it won't take
Jessica.
long. It will not take long. I used to say,
hey, we need to get some banners.
How many months?
Trust
my mentor was
Jessica.
like, 2 to 6 months. 2 to 6 months. Like how many hours? They're like 2 to 3 hours a week. I'm like, oh my God. This is a lot. But you know what's worse?
2 or 3 hours a week to build your
yes
financial freedom.
That's
for your kids
for me
that you store at your mum and dad's place.
Any of this learning has ever
it's getting better at this.
Another few things: update your firmware on your wallets regularly. Test your recovery process before storing large amounts.
Test it.
All things that we just don't get told about. But test your recovery process before you move something.
Yeah.
Spread your eggs. Do all that. I know that some people they know they're going to have large amounts of money coming through this year. This is where I want you to.
That's
I want you to make sure
presumption.
you set up. Other common mistakes and considerations. I'm almost at the end of this. It's cool. I'm happy. I said 90 minutes. We're going good. Have a clear exit plan. So understand what you want to achieve, because if you are playing in with a diversified range, then you're dollar cost averaging, which is great, and you'll feel your profits coming through regardless because you're spreading your eggs. But if you're going to go in and say, all right, I'm going to invest into this company,
know
or
about
this new
spreading your
platform,
eggs,
or
Jessica.
into a certain amount
Just
into
saying
Bitcoin. Be clear with your strategies.
I haven't got any eggs to
right?
spread.
Be clear with your greed and all your unprocessed emotions. You've got to understand that. I will tell you that until the cows come home. Don't rush the process. Do your preparation, do your safety, and it's not that hard, but just get organized with it. Have a book, have a few things in place so that you know what you're doing. Don't treat this space like a casino. If you like gambling, just go straight to the casino. Don't treat this place like that.
Don't treat it like gambling. So what is it then? It's worse than gambling.
My money in a day with the Trump coin, and Scarlett's like, my daughter, you should do that every day. And I'm like, that doesn't happen. That's not how this works. Like, this has been a steady burn. That was just one fun day.
I thought you didn't talk about your finances with your other people. Oh, your kids.
Make sure you have a framework. Find a good community. Find a good mentor. Find some good people to work with. Even if they're just your friends and you're all on the same page, make sure you're in conversation with people so that you're not going it alone. And I probably already told you all of this because I generally jump ahead. Diversify, educate, mentor, and learn how to buy before the masses do. That's ultimately the thing at the end of the day is having a look at new spaces and then having a look at historical spaces. Things like I've mentioned already, Bitcoin is historically performing well. We already know that. So that's why I use that as an example. I've got a brand new platform that I'm working with, which is what I believe is me buying before masses and making really smart decisions for other potential exponential growth. I've got gold, which has a 3,000-year history. So I like to be in ownership of as many things as possible so that I feel like I'm making really smart choices. And that's where people are going to position themselves. And then there's other things, there's funds, there's so many things that you can get into once you start to feel empowered. So I know that some people have been invited along. You're like, who the heck is Jess? And why are we listening to her on a Tuesday night? Potentially by your friend, or you've invited your hubby along, or whatever it is.
Hubby.
So contact the person who shared this with you if you have more questions, if you want any answers, if you're just like, how can I, be involved with what you guys are up to? I have mentorship. I have a mentorship program starting. I'm not selling to you on this call. You can find that information out easily by contacting me. Start learning. Set aside 20, 30, 40 minutes a day and just learn. Just keep something up to pick something else up and learn. Follow principles when it comes to your finances. If you don't have that set in stone first, if you're wasting money on things that are causing you guilt and shame, like cocktails or whatever it is, and you want to hit goals this year, then you're going to have to make some decisions for your family and where you want to go. One of the easiest things to do is download the last 12 months of transactions, get a CSV file, put it into order of all the outlets you purchase from. I did that for the first time about 8 years ago, and I realized that I was spending about $150 something dollars a week on sushi, after school snacks and wine. And I was like, well, that's probably not a good wealth strategy for me.
I thought you didn't want to talk about your wealth.
See the thousands of dollars that I was making. I was getting a lot of joy from it, but not long-term joy at all. So follow guidelines, follow principles, look for ways you can cut out your short-term satisfaction items for a while so that you can feel this long-term wealth growth. So you don't have to regret it. That's being clear on a long-term vision. And yeah, you got to put your big adult pants on when it comes to this space. But trust me, it is well worth it. I'm going to leave you with this quote, which I freaking love.
Is it her quote?
Procrastination is the assassination of all destinations.
Wow, that's
it's like
profound.
A bit of a tongue twister. But how true is this statement, right? Procrastination is the assassination of all destinations. So as I said at the beginning, I'm not a tree. And I don't want you to be a tree either. You don't have to be a sprinter, but just don't be a tree. Don't just stay in the one place forever, right? Micro moves will outweigh staying in the same spot every time. Don't procrastinate. You can make a move with $10. If that is more than you've ever done before, you're ahead of the game.
Yep.
Right? You've done something outside of your comfort
zone. We'll message her secretly and she'll give you
the biology behind that, because
some
I've studied
ideas
brain biology, is that when you expose yourself to something more and more and more, like doing squats at the gym, the destination gets so much closer, so much faster, the more times we do things over and over again. So I hope you've enjoyed that.
Totally.
And also, don't forget about the giveaway. So feel free to tag me and share the love and get some takeaways and share them with your community. I always appreciate that. I will announce for somebody tomorrow. If that person is you, will give you $500 to
I don't
your chosen
believe there is
space.
any questions.
I have an amazing recommendation.
You cut
for a
the
place,
questions
but
off.
I am not a financial advisor, and I will never tell you what to do. If you want it straight into your own crypto wallet, you can have that also. And that's because you stuck on till the end. And
procrastination is the association of all destinations.
I saw there was one question there about financial background. I actually I don't have a background in finance. I think my biggest strength when it comes to this is I have a background in being a very fierce woman who doesn't accept low standards. Like, that's pretty much it. And I just literally love helping people get ahead. So I hope that you guys have had an amazing time. I hope you've learned a lot, and yeah, have an incredible rest of your week ahead. See you soon. Bye.
Well, hopefully my camera will come back. See you, Jessica. Hey, it's been awesome. Hey, thank you very much for the link. But one thing I did want to do, because Jessica's going to be thinking that, I don't know what Jessica's thinking, because I don't want to lead the witness, but we did actually have another video, and it's not there. It is actually, it's down there. It's there. Boom. There we go. And we've got it full size. Not quite. Look at that. We have to do this every time. Click. Okay, so this was the other video that we got, and this video was 28 minutes long, and I could have done this video, and this was basically her whole presentation, and she actually had 30 people in this meeting. And then since I've signed up for the webinar, there was another video that's come out and it had people in it. So I'm assuming that only 30 people, and I do believe that somebody in the chat room may have given me this information. She ended the Zoom pretty quickly when I asked in the chat if it was okay to share this with a ASIC. Good on you, Kathy. You're brilliant. I love that. The look of her face was priceless. Oh, I love it when people do that. I'm going to show you something that I'm doing another video back to back on this one, and I want you guys to laugh your head off when you see what I'm about to do. But I'm going to expose something I'm going to do in this video, so it may entice you to come back and watch my next video. But what we're going to do, there's a couple of things I want to do, and that is, first of all, we're not going to listen to this, but I'm just going to put her on for a second so you can hear her, because she's just absolutely lovely.
So there's a lot of different narratives. I think I've almost covered this, so I'm going to kind of speed through a little bit, because I know, mindful of time and everyone's time.
Oh, everyone's busy.
But there's a lot of different narratives, and I think this is another thing that I really want you guys to take away, is that trends can be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really important you understand that. I heavily preach when it comes to my mentorship spaces, when it comes to helping and educating people at deeper levels, when it comes to any of the platforms that I help people with, diversify, dollar cost average.
Dollar price average.
Baskets.
Okay.
Everybody follow.
Everyone follow her?
Hopefully that is very obvious.
Obvious.
Do not spend what you cannot lose.
Oh my God.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do anything.
Right? It's like buying a $5 million house and not having the job to accommodate the mortgage. No one in their right mind would do that.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was the that was the propaganda video I was going to do, and thank you so much for giving me that to people in the chat room. I just want to show Jessica a couple of things. So just and if you have been following Jessica, this is Jessica's Zoom meeting, okay? And this is live now. This is real time live, and she's not on here, so I know that. I know that. But what I want to get at is the fact that her Zoom meeting link is 9419. And because we have access to that information now, we will see a new Zoom meeting being produced. And normally this means that they're trying to hide what they're doing. And also, if you are in the Zoom meeting, and you could actually report this Zoom meeting. Now, I've done about 100 reports to Zoom, and they do get closed down because you're not allowed to promote multi-level marketing. Now, she wasn't doing multi-level marketing in that room. But the fact is, you can actually report her for running a scam, and they will contact her and they will shut down these meetings eventually, even though it's very slow. Now, I had a bit of a victory today. And the victory today for me is I have this. So, first of all, I just wanted to show you these are the other Australians that we've found promoting the gold scam. And if I go into here, I've currently got 44 Australians, including what I call Jeremiah G. Righteous. I'm just going to get rid of this phone off my desk. There we go. And I'm also going to just set something on my phone so I don't forget and my battery goes flat. Put it onto 30 seconds. Good. And if I shut that down, life is good. So we don't need to hear from Jessica anymore. But I'm going to share some funny information with you. I've been doing a bit of experiments lately about getting sites removed that are causing me a bit of defaming. So we're just going to switch topics on the end of this because I have been coming up with clever ways of doing things. So one of the things that I'm doing right now is I am uploading a video to a platform called Rumble. Now, this video has just been removed of YouTube. Isn't that terrible? So this video is about a guy called Craig Watton. And Craig claims to be a businessman. Now, whatever a businessman means, I don't exactly know. But as far as I'm concerned, Craig makes his money by telling people he can help them recover their crypto. Now, he was running a scam in Australia called Lioness. And he was making $20,000 a month, so he told me, and he had 40,000 people behind him. Now, he's been complaining to YouTube about defamation. He complained to YouTube about defamation, claiming that I had stolen that picture that he gave me that I'm in. And I even think he could have, I'm not sure, but he could have used my camera at the time to take that photo. Anyway, I asked him for the photo. He was alleging that he was actually at the global sales. Oh, too high. Oh, well, you can listen to me for a bit. I'm just going to leave that camera off for a bit. I don't understand why I'm getting overheated that camera. That's really interesting. Let me just turn my camera off for a wee bit. Turn that off. Right. No, Danny, we're just listening. So he's claimed that two things. He wrote to iTunes because he's trying to get the recording off as well, claiming that I stole that picture. He was using that picture in all the social media, insinuating that he may have been a speaker at the global crimes conference. So I did a whole blog about it, and at the moment you can read all about it. So he's complained to YouTube. They've come back, and he also said that he was he said I had a nude picture of myself in there. So this is my nude picture with my name over it. And I explained that I told him this story because I said I had some people that were in a Zoom meeting, and it was the Pascals, Australian people, and I knew that I could get this broadcast shut down if I stood nude in front of the camera, which I might sound terrible, but I'm just showing you what extents I go to. However, they were so, and if we've actually used public nudity, not my public nudity, to shut down Zoom meetings in the past. But anyway, because of this, he decided to use this against me and wrote to iTunes this morning, which I have correspondence with, which is quite funny. But he's already managed, after, get this happened 3 months ago, he's managed to get that video removed. So let me show you what we do when that happens. So if I go edit this blog, right, I can go edit. And in a minute, we will edit the blog. Editing blog. Take a minute when WordPress is very slow. Edit blog. And we come along and we find separate YouTube. We need to add another section. So we'll go down to the bottom here and we'll add an element. And we're going to add a text block. And we're going to add text. And we're going to embed here. Embed. Okay, I think that works. Embed. Yep. Okay, so now we go save. And then we drag down. And we come up here. And then we get the video here. And we go above. And we delete YouTube one. Gone. All right, now we go update. Now we save that. And now we go back to a button that will pop up soon. Button popped up soon. And we click on that and open another thing. All right. So now we've got the video, and the video is encoding. This is the same video that he's managed to get removed. And now to get the video removed, he'll have to write to Rumble, which is quite funny. And you can see that the podcast may not exist for much longer, unfortunately, because he's also wrote to iTunes. So what I decided to do, which might be a bit strange if you don't fight scams as much as me, but what I decided to do, and what's this here? Separator. I'm going to get rid of that. Yep, get rid of that. I don't think we need that, just saying. Is I'm actually I've gone to ChatGPT, and I've told ChatGPT to write me a completely new blog, and this time don't mention Craig's name at all. In fact, we're going to call him Adam or something else. So I'm about to do that video, and I'm going to explain the whole story again and not mention Craig's name once, but tell the whole story and have that blog again. But the one thing I was trying to do is think of a great, could you please give me an awesome name for a scammer who claims he can recover people's money yeah, I think that will do. Could you please give me an awesome name for a scammer who claims he recovers people's money? Ideally, first and last name. He is also an Australian businessman. Okay, so I'll just go in there and chuck that in there. So what I'm going to do is going to republish this, and I'm doing this for a social science experiment, to be honest. I won't be able to pronounce that one, though. Hold it. What have we got?
Ethan Graves.
Ethan Graves. Ethan Graves. Ethan Graves. Is that a good name? Let's have a look. See what it says.
It sounds authoritative yet has an ominous undertone, fitting for someone who preys on victims of scams under the guise of financial recovery. Graves subtly hints at the finality of lost money, while Ethan gives it a professional yet deceptive edge, perfect for an Australian businessman running a dubious operation. Let me know or variation.
I wouldn't mind a few different variations. Hello, Jelly Snack. Nice to see you here. And I'm just going to read Kathy's message. If people saw the shit show Dennis Looms get people's wallets connected today. Oh, really? Sounds like we must know you. Are you obviously hiding under a fake name there, Kathy? But I haven't corresponded with you before. Haven't seen you here, but it's nice to have you here. Yeah. So these are other names that I could use instead of Adam. Nathan Blackwell, Travis. I'm just going to read some of these out and see what they think.
Ethan Graves, professional yet ominous, suggesting the finality of lost money. Nathan Blackwell sounds credible, but Blackwell hints at murky dealings behind the scenes. Blake Donovan, a slick and businesslike name, fitting for a scammer with the polished image. Travis Langford has the ring of a self-styled legal expert, perfect for someone running a fake class action lawsuit. Damon Caldwell, a name that exudes authority but also has an air of deception. Logan Henshaw sounds respectable but with a hint of arrogance, ideal for someone claiming to fight scams while exploiting victims. Marcus Wainwright has a high society businessman feel, good for a scammer who positions himself as an elite recovery specialist. Sebastian Holt, a name that suggests trust and professionalism, masking the reality of fraudulent schemes. Adrian Lockwood has a
Oh, I actually quite like Marcus Wengworth. What's it
Marcus
called?
Wainwright.
Marcus Wainwright. Marcus Wainwright. Can we use this name? Zane Whittaker. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really have a gangster feel to it. Hopefully my camera will be back in a second. I've just switched it back on. It was overheating. Oop, not that one. Let's try that one. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So I don't know. Marcus Wainwright? I don't know. It doesn't rattle off my thing. Marcus, I won't remember that though. I've got no memory. Ethan Graves. I think we might do Ethan Graves. All right. Could you please update the blog and replace all the Adam names to Ethan Graves? Ethan Graves. All right. So now we've got an updated blog. And what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to redo the whole video I did. And this time I'm going to use, there's a fancy word for it, isn't it? Algorithm, isn't it? Algorithm. What did I say? Cautious. Oh dear. What have we got? They said we keep blah blah blah. Craig Watton, blah blah blah. Company rewrite this in a complaint. Right. Keep the defamation claims and rewrite the blog. Craig's no forgiveness. Yeah, is it that word?
Pseudonym.
Right. So in the title, right. So that's now we've got that being written. Also, I want to stop that. Right. So could you please update the blog and replace it with and please let the readers know that I have replaced the official name with a Ethereum. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to write Jelly Snack. Whoa, this is interesting. It was on the list. You're funny. See what you did with that Jelly Snack. Watch yourself. Smack you. Smack you, Macos. Okay. So hopefully recovery services. So now what we've got is we've got a brand new blog, which I think I interrupted. A Chrome Summit recovery. Have I done that? I'll just check to see what it's doing. It's going a bit mental. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. Let's see. We're editing. Oh, it's editing. All right. Okay. So what we've got is this has been my next video. So we've got a video. There it is here. So in here, we've got a video of Craig, class action recovery services. Are they legal or fraudulent? I was asking a question, but Craig's claimed I've pinched the photo. Craig's claimed that I've mentioned I've done something with public nudity, even though I've explained it all here. So I've asked ChatGPT to rewrite my blog. I'm going to leave this blog here. Rewrite my blog, explain the whole story, and remove anything that's maybe accused of defamation. And then he won't be able to remove my video, which is obviously back online now. And then I'm going to do another live, and I'm going to create another video. Now, when I'm streaming, if you don't know this, I actually stream on 8 different platforms. So right now, I'm actually streaming on X, another YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and my own YouTube channel. So I'm going to set myself a video, and I'm going to be back live in a few minutes. But I'm not going to mention the word Craig. And probably a good idea if you guys don't mention Craig. But I think Ethan, whatever his name is going to be a good alternative. And we're just going to do a social experiment because there is a method to my madness. And I'll tell you what that is because it is actually quite interesting. But I'm actually, obviously I do this full time. And I'm always accused of all sorts of things. But if you go to my webpage and you can read this blog, you won't read this blog before I'm going back live again. But this blog here talks about how I lost my YouTube channel. And I'm just going to skim read it through because some people tell me it's a marathon. And it is a marathon, but I'm also going to write a book about this one day. So I lost my YouTube channel for 4 days. What actually happened? Well, they actually said I updated a thumbnail that had explicit information on it. And it was Megan and Regan Lynch. We had Tugman visit while I was streaming, and I used the thumbnail and upload it with a video, even though I blurred out the explicit information that we used to get the Zoom meeting. I didn't use it, but Tugman did. And we shut down their Zoom meeting. So because I uploaded that thumbnail, I lost my YouTube channel, all right? So I've got a history of attacks. Here's all the correspondence I have with YouTube on a weekly basis. And I put that in here so people can actually see what I'm doing. I was hoping to get my YouTube channel back. They looked at the thumbnail and they said I had blurred out the images. Well, they didn't say that. They said, but I wasn't breached of anything they said. My website continuously gets denial server attacks. My podcast gets taken down. So I get takedown requests from Craig Watton, telling them that I've breached privacy. Now, they got complaints actually from Spotify, not me. And Spotify are bigger than Buzzsprout, my host. So they bent at the knees and said, oh, well, we better remove it. It's just easier for these companies to remove the content. So I show I show the correspondence I had with Buzzsprout, just so you guys know what I go through on a daily basis to keep my content live. Legal battles, as I said in this video, I've got somebody tried to sue me in the New Zealand High Court for $3.8 million. It cost me $36,000 to defend myself. Facebook, somebody published a Facebook page that was a scam. I went in there and wrote reviews. I found a few others. I wrote reviews. They reported me as a scammer running a scam, and Facebook shut me down. You can't talk to anyone at Facebook, so I lost my Facebook account. Zoom had blocked my email addresses. I can't report any more Zoom meetings ever again because they decided that I shared someone's payslip on the internet and broke their terms and conditions, even though I've had 100 meetings shut down, proving that they were using multi-level marketing techniques in their Zoom broadcast, which is against Zoom's conditions. Then I had this one, which is really interesting. Coordinated campaigns to discredit my work. Now, just so you know, I'm just going to shut down a few extra windows here so I can do this properly. I have one YouTube channel, 2 YouTube channels, 3 YouTube channels set up to discredit me. I also have DeHex Web of Lies, DeHex Portfolio, Danny DeHex OneCoin crypto provider, and Derby's WordPress website. So there's all this content, plus there's 100 articles about me on the internet that Stephen McCullough set up. He claimed he had 300,000 reporters that were reporting articles about me, but he used AI to write a whole lot of articles, published them on the internet, and you'll find them when you just simply search for Danny DeHeck. Anyway, we used them in court against him, which is quite funny, not that we had the choice because he filed a discontinuance. Okay, I hope you're keeping up. So the first thing is DeHeck facts. If you search for Danny DeHeck, these articles come up. I haven't had a time to go through and spend the time writing to YouTube. If I do, this will get removed. And if it gets removed, it will be back next week anyway. So what's the point? But this is not me. They're using information, unfalse statements, complete defamation, but getting it removed off YouTube is hard work. The second one is this guy, Dervy. If you look up who he means, is actually somebody who actually did cruelty to animals. So they're not using my name, but they are using my images that I can prove are copyrighted to me. And they've done all these videos about me. Quite interesting. Next one. Go to this one. This is May Summervu, who claims that YouTube should shut me down because I'm stopping her from running her scams. So that's another thing. She's just sitting there totally defaming me. But the good news is this one here, they have 9 sliders available. The other day, they had 11 sliders available. These are all PDF documents basically used to create videos that they've uploaded to this SlideShare website where you can literally download PDFs on me. And these are all they're designed to discredit me. All the images are actually copyrighted to my partner. She's a professional photographer. She took this photo and they're using my badly poor images. You can download a PDF document all about me and you can watch scams. That photo there is actually owned by the New York Times. That is a photo of me when I was in the New York Times. It's not coming up on the screen. So, you know, like what I'm getting at, why isn't that coming up on the screen, computer? Come on, computer, do your thing. Hold up 1 minute. There it is. So that photo there is me in the New York Times, all right? That there, they flew a photographer in to take their photos. I'm sure if the New York Times had all the time and the energy, they would get this removed. So this company this morning wrote to me and said that they've removed 3 of these articles. And I said, why don't you, first of all, prove that this guy, Dervy Devley, whatever his name is actually the real deal and a real person? And also, why have you just removed 3 of the videos when the other 9 videos are exactly the same? So my whole blog, and the whole point of that blog is to show you all the different tactics that people use trying to shut me up, which is quite funny. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm learning how to future-proof myself and how to correspond with these companies. So it doesn't really bother me if people get my content and reuse it, but I'm learning about how it works. Denny de Heck, not even spelt right. Muck rack. I write to these, and once again, we've got, and this is Jan Gregory doing this, right? Or may some of it, I don't know, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I can report to this Muck Rack website, and I have 50,000 pieces of correspondence with them. They're using photos that are not even theirs. They're claiming that I've produced this content. They're claiming that I've got things to do with OneCoin. And these are photos that are all owned by. This photo here has been in the newspaper. This one here, and it's just rubbish. But I have to write to these companies and say, I am Danny de Heck. This company's claiming that they are me publishing this information. I am not publishing this information. Get this information off your server. And I have to write through, and they want me to fill out a form, an official form to get each bit of this information removed one at a time. I said, I've got better things to do with my time. All right, so the next one is this website. If you go to dannydeheck.org, you'll find a whole website that's claiming to be me with my images, with content to say Danny de Heck, the new OneCoin cryptocurrency promoter. And it says, my name is Danny de Heck. I am thrilled to introduce you as the one promoter of OneCoin, as the new promoter of OneCoin. So how can they claim this is me? So to write to GoDaddy, I think it's GoDaddy, yeah, whoever it is, they want me to they want me to get a policeman to prove this is fraud. This is websites claiming to be me. It's got claims that I'm talking like it's me, but I can't get me to remove it. And there's James Blake is a guy that's just done a documentary, absolutely brilliant about how he's had his identity stolen. Fortunately, I did write to WordPress.com. They were hosting a website and they removed it. So it does work, but you learn. I'm also learning how hard it is to get content removed. So every time I produce content, it's broadcasted on 7 or 8 different platforms. And if it's broadcast on 7 or 8 different platforms, that means somebody who doesn't want that information has to report each bit of information. It works both ways, kids. Here is a false claim by Craig Watton and Rory Kanacha. Here are the articles that are on my website. And if Craig Watton wants this information removed, he'll have to actually write to so many places. His fingers will go blue and start bleeding because he'll wear his keyboards out. It works both ways. So here's the first article, Class Action Recovery Services. And here's the video that he's just had removed this morning, back online, but hosted somewhere different. Here's the podcast, which he got removed from Buzzsprout, back online because now I host it directly with iTunes. So he's wrote directly to iTunes. So what I'm going to do next and today is I'm going to reproduce the content. This time I'm not going to mention Craig's name, but I'm going to tell my story. And it's going to be a little bit more raw than it was the first time I told it because I'm not going to use Craig's name. I'm also going to make a lovely picture up that will actually, he can't go on about a picture with me in it. He can't prove ownership of the picture. And if he does, it will be a friggin' nightmare for him. So I'm doing it for a bit of a joke. But if you ever want to check out my struggles, as I said, I've had legal battles. Facebook's removed my accounts. I've had people set up content. I've had false claims from Craig. Trustpilot have got, if you go to Trustpilot and you open that up, you'll see that somebody has wrote reviews about me. And I go in there and say that I'm not actually providing any services as a scam buster. So this person that's wrote this information here, doesn't exist. And I write to them and I go, prove that this information was from somebody who used my products or services. Isn't Trustpilot all about providing feedback on people's products and services? I do not provide a crypto scam reporting service. So why is this guy writing about my services? And I write a big reply, and then I get another one, and I get another one, and I can spend all day long replying to these people, but they don't remove it. So that was just another thing. So that was me talking about that. And then I get somebody who served a trespass notice because I knew their home address because they live in Christchurch. And I've got 2 dear friends that were pushed a Ponzi scheme by them. 2 policemen knocked on my door. And I said, why are you knocking on my door for? Why aren't you investigating the lady that's asked you to drop off the trespass notice? They said, we don't want to get into that. And I said, why don't you want to get into that? I can prove that this lady's running a scam. She's part of a $350 million scam. She used to be a policeman. Is that why you're dropping off this stuff because you're looking after your own? And they gave me a copy of the Digital Communication Act, and I ripped that up and threw it on the floor. Physical challenges. I've been dizzy for the last 2.5 months. I'm stressed. I'm a lunatic at the moment. It comes at a toll. As I said, my why is a lot of people I've seen literally die by suicide because of these scams, and that's why I do. And also, if they did take my YouTube channel down, it would be sad. I'm currently exposing 114 at the time. Nearly 400 people have been exposed by me, and it just goes on and on and on. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to set up a new blog. I'm going to do a new broadcast. I'm going to have new imagery, and I'm going to be promoting Ethan. And I'm going to be trying to remember his name as far as I can, which would be quite good. I've written to Jessica. Haven't heard back from her yet. I'm sure that she will be... she changed her name again. What's his last name? Isn't it funny that she's called Jessica Soul? Who is that? Let's have a look at her on this. So this is her here, but I haven't even seen that. It doesn't even look like she uses it. But if I search for her name, we've got Facebook. We've got, oh, this is interesting. So I wonder if it's the same person as the Jessica that we just did. Getting distracted here, aren't we? So I'm just going to go back to, I think I've already got this one. Let's see, Jessica Soul, nice nails, a few fake diamonds, different person altogether, not connected. Next person, Jessica. No, different person altogether. Does not look like the same lady. Maybe I'm wrong. Ladies all look the same to me sometimes. LinkedIn. Have we found the real LinkedIn? No. Costa Rica? No. So when we search for that name that she's used in her official Instagram, we find nobody. Just getting rid of all these names. I'd just like to shut down the boxes before I go on. This does not look like Jessica. Video not available anymore because she removes videos after she's finished with them. They all do that. As we see here, we did have Jessica here, Jessica S., and she's heavily involved with this guy. This guy here, I've been in videos with him before. And also, if you search for Joseph Heights or anything to do with Joseph Heights, you'll find Jessica in these photos. So she knows exactly what she's doing. And this was my thumbnail for today. This is propaganda webinars, and she's just telling you a bunch of lies. I'm going to keep that open. And now we have a video coming out in a few minutes, and it will be talking about Craig Watton, but we will create a brand new podcast as you like. How's that sound? Right, what have we got? Cartoon images? Yeah, I think so. Hey, Susie. Have you guys ever seen me actually do a blog before? If you do blogging, you might like watching this. And also if you do, because it's actually quite interesting. So if I go to Craig Watton, okay, and I'm going to have a look to see what it spat out. Clark Section Services. So exposing the truth. What did we do? Cult survivor. Here we go. Alrighty. So now we've got, I'm going to have to listen to this, but you can listen to this this podcast, and I'll show you how extensive it is. Let's have a quick look.
Exposing the truth, my experience with class action recovery services. My name is Danny Heck, though many know me as the crypto Ponzi scheme avenger. As a cult survivor, public speaker, and investigative satirist, I've dedicated my life to exposing scams, sharing my story of resilience, and inspiring others to stand against exploitation. My journey, shaped by overcoming the trauma of high-control religious environments and financial predators, fuels my mission to educate and protect others. For years, I've spent countless hours uncovering Ponzi schemes and helping victims understand the true nature of these scams. My goal has always been to empower people, helping them avoid losing their hard-earned money. However, my recent experience with an individual I'll call Ethan Graves, a pseudonym, and his associate, representing companies based in Austria and elsewhere, opened my eyes to a concerning aspect of the recovery services industry.
Sounds good so far.
This is my account, my observations, and my opinion, shared to provide cautionary insight to others. Attending the Global Financial Crime Summit 2024. In November 2024, I travelled to Sydney, Australia, to attend the Global Financial Crime Summit 2024, a prestigious event held at the Intercontinental Sydney. The summit brought together over 150 professionals, including law enforcement, financial crime experts, and cybersecurity leaders, to address the growing threat of financial fraud. With Australians reporting over $6 billion in losses to scams since 2022, the summit provided a vital platform for collaboration and knowledge sharing. Some of the featured speakers included Ken Gamble, Executive Chairman, IFW Global; Dr. Muhammad Chorky, Associate Professor of Cybercrime; Erin West, Deputy District Attorney, React Task Force, USA; Chris Parrish, Resident Agent, US Secret Service; Amit Levin, Global CTG and AML Advisor, Binance. The summit covered a range of topics, from real-world case studies and data-driven solutions to cross-border collaboration and strategies for building stronger defenses against financial crimes. I left the first day inspired by the shared commitment to tackling scams and cybercrime. On the evening of the first day, I arranged to record a podcast with Ethan Graves, someone I had connected with through my work exposing scams. This was the second time I had met Ethan face-to-face, and I saw it as an opportunity to get to know him better while discussing the insights shared at the summit. The podcast that raised red flags. Ethan Graves and I recorded the podcast in one of the meeting rooms at the Global Financial Crime Summit 2024. The discussion centered on the event itself, how insightful the sessions were, the innovative strategies shared by experts, and the importance of global collaboration in fighting financial crime. Ethan brought a cameraman to document the podcast, which seemed like a straightforward way to capture and share the moment. After the podcast, Ethan posted photos and videos on social media, including images of himself standing at a podium with the summit signage prominently displayed in the background. To someone unfamiliar with the situation, these posts might give the impression that Ethan was closely affiliated with the summit or had an official role as a delegate or speaker. In reality, Ethan's only connection to the event was being invited to record the podcast in the venue. While the posts didn't explicitly claim he was part of the summit, in my opinion, the way they were presented could mislead people into believing Ethan was more involved than he actually was. At first, I thought little of it, assuming Ethan was simply proud of being associated with such an important event. However, things began to shift after the podcast aired. A week after I returned home, I started receiving emails from people who had seen the podcast. Many of these messages were supportive, but a significant number raised serious concerns about Ethan. Several individuals claimed he was a scammer, warning me to be cautious. Others shared documents that painted a troubling picture of his professional activities. These emails stopped me in my tracks. Until then, I had seen Ethan as a fellow advocate for scam victims, someone committed to helping those who had been defrauded. But the allegations and evidence I was receiving suggested a different story. The documents I received included contracts and agreements related to recovery services that raised questions about transparency and fairness, complaints from individuals who claimed they had paid fees up front but had seen no progress or results, information suggesting that Ethan's professional partner and their organization were more focused on collecting fees than on delivering real outcomes. What had started as an impromptu podcast to highlight the value of the summit quickly backfired on Ethan. Instead of boosting his credibility, it prompted people to come forward with concerns and evidence that cast doubt on his intentions. Returning home, the proposal that changed everything. Shortly after I returned to New Zealand, Ethan reached out with a proposal that changed my perspective entirely. He explained that he had been discussing with his professional partner at their organization the idea of pursuing a recovery initiative for victims of Ponzi schemes, particularly high-perverse. They wanted me to direct victims to their services and, in return, offered to pay me a flat-rate fee. Ethan framed this as a way to put me on the payroll for all the work I had done exposing scams, emphasizing that I could help victims while earning compensation for my efforts. At first, this seemed like a reasonable acknowledgement of the value of my work. But as I thought about it more, I began to feel deeply uncomfortable. High-perverse victims had already lost so much. How could I, in good conscience, direct them to a service charging a 16% recovery fee, 9% upfront without clear evidence of success? The idea that I might lend credibility to their operation by associating my name with it made me deeply uneasy. The reality of recovery services. From my perspective, recovery services like these often prey on victims' desperation. Here's why. False hope. Victims believe their money can be recovered, even when the chances are slim. Upfront fees. Charging fees before delivering results adds financial strain to people who have already lost so much. Lack of transparency. Ethan and his associate provided no verifiable proof of their past recoveries, relying instead on vague claims and polished presentations. My message to victims: if you've been scammed, I want you to know you're not alone. But here's my honest advice: be cautious with recovery services. Ask for clear evidence of success before committing your money. Beware of upfront fees. If a service demands payment before delivering results, proceed with caution. Focus on moving forward. Sometimes, the best way to reclaim your power is to accept the loss and rebuild. Conclusion. This blog is not about attacking individuals or organizations. It's about sharing my experiences and observations to help others make informed decisions. Everything I've shared here is based on my personal encounters and opinions. To victims of scams, stay vigilant and demand transparency. To those offering recovery services, be honest about your track record. And to everyone fighting financial crime, let's work together to protect those who need it most.
What do you reckon about that one? We could actually, yeah, well, that was the story, and it's actually very true. I haven't made, this is what really plucks me off, to be honest, is, you know, I have been really truthful in what I'm saying, and I haven't, you know, twisted the truth at all. And I've just told my story, and then he comes along claiming, I think a cow would be quite good. Well, what other animal could we use, you reckon? We've got a Mr. Beanie Head there. But I think the cow looks quite good. Or what animal often is part of a scam? We've got a horse, a giraffe. We could do a giraffe. What about, how about, what's going to look better, a giraffe? I don't think we'll cover his whole head with that, though. We could do a giraffe or a cow. A giraffe. Who tells the story? Who else have we got? We could have a dunk's head. We could have. I think we're doing all right with the. Is that going to be enough though? He claims that's his photo, and they are class action recovery services. I think that's good enough. I think that's quite good. Anyway, at least it'll be the same. So let's try saving this, and we're going to Ethan, and we'll go to that, and now we go done. Right, and save currency. Done. Alrighty, so now we're going to go back to the title. We'll go get well, I'll just talk to myself a wee bit. You keep talking. So let's see. So I'm going to make this a podcast as well. And the podcast's not going to mention anything. And that means it will go on to 20 different platforms. And also, this will go into 8 different streams at the same time. So it's going to be a bit of an ask for him to actually get that removed. And if it's got no defamation claims in it, then he shouldn't really care. It's just my personal experience with a businessman. Now, he claims he's got a businessman of some sort. Isn't that hard case? So it's going to be interesting to see if he can explain what type of businessman he is. But in the meantime, we'll have a bit of fun with it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to upload that. Alrighty. And we're going to go back to the blog. We're going to update the blog. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to say, write me a YouTube description. Please create me the YouTube description from the blog. Make sure it's informative. And add a bit of wit. A bit of wit. Wit. Oh, camera's gone really witty. Make it witty. Okay, so let's go formative and witty. All right, so my camera for some reason has decided to overheat these days, so I'm just going to turn that off. And what I'm going to do, though, in case you haven't been keeping up with the current events, is I am going to turn the camera off. I am now actually going to create a YouTube video exposing the truth. I think that's going to be too long, but that's going to be cool. And then, yeah, so what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to show you some other stuff because I think it's interesting if you're wondering how I roll. So the first thing I need to do is obviously I need to I'll add a video into this blog. So first of all, I'm going to have a look at this blog. So I'm going to go and find all the other places that I can post a blog. All right. This is LinkedIn. So the title, LinkedIn. This is Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. They allow me to post blogs. So while that's logging in, I'm going to go to Medium and also Blogger, which is owned by Google. And I publish a blog. So I'll give it a juicy title. It's got one. And the other one I do is I also have, I can't even say the name actually. I can't even say the name, but it's a place where people donate money to us. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's good, but it doesn't matter. Right, that one there. All right, so I go to here. I go to Whoosh. I go post. And so he's even written to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, asking them to remove a blog, would you believe? Isn't that crazy? And tactics. So that needs to be that long. Right, so now I've got my blog. And, oh, what's happened here? No, that's the existing blog. Have I done that wrong? Hello, what have I done wrong there? So, I've uploaded the wrong photo. That's not very clever. So where's our original photo? Where's our horsey one? This one? Maybe I did the wrong one. Okay, let's do that again. Share, download. One and done. Okay. It's unusual I've done that, but it's really strange. I'm just going to hold the shift key down and hit refresh just in case. Because I have a feeling that's cached from another photo. No, it's not. All right then, let's go edit. We are going to go here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a subtitle, which I won't be able to do now. Right, I need to do a few things behind the scenes. Right click, rename, copy, have a look at this picture. Some reason I've uploaded the wrong picture. So let's go back here, remove that picture, and let's just delete that permanently. I've done something wrong already. Copy, delete permanently, and go back to files, upload, exposing the truth. Problems of the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. Why is that doing that same thing? Okay, let's see if we can get this right. Okay, so we're going to go update. Right, so let's see if we've got the right picture first. First thing I'm going to do is grab a picture, add picture. Exposing. No, it's got the wrong picture. Oh, it's on the desktop. It's gone to the wrong area. I've uploaded the wrong file. There we go. So that's going to be Cal. That's going to be Cal. That one there is going to be Cal. And this one here is going to be Cal. So if I want to do a good job at exposing somebody, I literally need to go to this extent. And so there's more to just producing a YouTube video. It's about creating as big a footprint as you can. And this guy has actually, done a lot of what I believe is not, he's had an opportunity to answer and he's failed to do so. So I just don't have any time for this shit anymore, and I'll be, I'm not hiding that fact. Right, so this one here, look at this. Some of these website developing companies are just so bad when it comes to their way of uploading content. Some of them are really good. So we've got this content in here that won't allow me to have a long title. I have to do this for that. This one here, I can have a subtitle. And now I think I have the right. And we've got that. Now that's cached, so you learn stuff all the day. So I hit refresh, and we should have a nice picture of a moose. No, we still haven't got a moose. Moose. Hit refresh. Give me a moose. I can't believe I think I've actually updated the wrong file twice. Moose. I have, haven't I? God, this must be painful to watch. Right, let's go back. Edit live. No, edit. That one there. So what have I got here? I've got rid of the moose. And right. Edit. And we are living the dream. I've literally done that wrong. So let's go back. Let's go select an image. Here. Permanently delete. I hope you appreciate this, Craig. I've now got to do a video and not mention the word Craig, in it at all. And I'm doing this for a social experiment as well. I really want to see if it works. So this is the cow. Oh, maybe I need to do. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to watch this. Hey, feel free to go away and come back in about half an hour if you watch the live. But you'll laugh your head off. But I just realised there's something I didn't do that I should have done that would make that even look better. And that is this. I see if you guys notice, but the cow hasn't got a shadow. And if it has a shadow, it's just going to pop it a little bit more. So we're going to go shadow and shell. Yeah, that's better. And that's why he didn't look very good when it came to things. So now I have to go through that whole process again. Download MP4 to this one, untick all those, tick that there. Learning a lot about Canva, aren't you? And download. So now I come back to my originals. I right click on downloads. I go rename, copy that, right click, move to bin, right click, check picture. Shadow looks heaps better. Rename, picture, save. Okay, so now we're going to go to editing, and now we're going to go back to delete again. I hold it, delete. We're going to go back to this one, grab the title, hit delete. Hope you appreciate this. The wrong button. Don't hit the wrong button when people are watching. Drive them crazy. Okay, so now we're going to go back to featured listing. Did not load. Of course you didn't. Could not load. That's because it doesn't exist. We're going to have to save that. Yes, we can actually just go right click. Ethan. So what we've got, Ethan Graves. Ethan Graves. It's going to be a funny video. If I can remember to pull it off, that's going to be the next thing. Ethan Graves, upload this. All right. Hopefully we've got the right one now. Downloads, class action, shadow, done. Right. Anyway, probably going to get this video reported now, but that's okay. Because I've got the original and we're streamed on many platforms, so it doesn't really matter. Right, set. And hopefully forget. Global Summit. I want to see if I can link to this. It's good to have a link to yourself, so they tell me. Global Financial Fines Summit. There it is. Linked. All about it. And Ethan Graves. Have I got him in the list of goodie names? Alrighty. I think we've got it said. Good. Right. So now we go update. Now we're going to go back to the rest of the blogs. And the truth. So we've got our YouTube video, the title all ready to go. We are now going to paste those there. And now we can come through exposing this here, and we'll grab all that content. And now we go back and we get rid of what we don't need, and we come here and we start writing. Boom. Oh, look, it even copied my photo this time. It doesn't normally do that. I wonder if I can leave that there. Can you left align it? Guess not. Wonder if you can click on it and do fancy things. Guess not. Picture? Maybe you can. No, just got a picture that sits here looking like a lost dead fish. Well, that's just great, isn't it? Okay, exposing the truth. I copied the wrong area, but I might get away with that. Yep. Yep. Looking good. Right, and then that one. So we'll have to, and then we'll go there. Did it grab my image? Oh, it did grab my image. Oh, well, let's leave it there then. Right, that's good. We'll get rid of that. And we'll leave that image. We'll tidy it up a wee bit because we can. Boom. And look at that. Beautiful. All right, next one. Boom. Look at that. Just doesn't want it. I'm going to get rid of that one. Don't need it there. And we're also going to get rid of that up there. And next one. See, so these are all the blogs. When you go and do something like I'm doing, boom, and we'll get rid of that big ugly photo, and I've destroyed it by something there. So now I go back and get that image again. Some of these sites are harder than others, I tell you. That one there will be back in a minute, and click, and this one here didn't carry the photos through. Expose and get rid of that. Done. Alrighty, so I'm basically ready to rock and roll. This one here needs a wee title, so we're going to go bang that one there, and we're going to get rid of me, and we're going to go exposing the truth twice. We're going to get rid of that one, and we're going to go to, we'll see if we can have that whole intro up here. Nope, not the whole lot. I'm public speaker, Coxville public speaker. Yep. Right. Oops. Done. So we've got a title, picture, but no link to the video yet, which will be coming in a minute. Right, so we've got ourselves all set to go in Substack. Got ourselves all set to go in LinkedIn. We've got ourselves all set to go and buy me a cup of coffee, and also Medium, which is quite a good site. They don't all let you format nicely, but anyway, that will come out right when you're looking at it. And then we've got Blogger Central, and also, so now I just need to give the link, which I can't create while I'm talking to you guys. I'm going to turn on my camera and find out what's going wrong with that, because it's never ever done it before, but it's actually overheating at the moment. Hey, look, if you've been sitting here watching my rambles, in a minute we'll have no stripe. Thank you very much for watching all my rambles, and I'm just preparing myself for my next live. It's going to happen in about 20 minutes from when I get offline, so feel free to come back. Appreciate the people that have been here all the way through. And if you are going to invest, and get involved with Jessica Soul, and you're curious, or you have any information about her, please do go to deheck.com and give me any information about her. It would be much appreciated. I also will break this live section off into a new video just to really drive the point home, and I'm going to do that in a minute. So you will see a rerun of the Jessica video before I went crazy and started doing all the Craig Watton stuff. So Craig Watton, here comes your video, but it won't be mentioning you, but if you do a search, you'll find him throughout my website. And he's obviously what I don't believe is a genuine businessman, as he calls himself. But hey, look, thank you for being here. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Give me 20 minutes, I'll be back.